Welcome, everyone, to the Four Post Massacre Podcast. I am, of course, your host. You can simply call me Adam.
Huh?
What did they call me?
Say yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And along with me is my very confused co-host. What's your name?
This is the weirdest intro.
Look, I'm trying to go for more fan participation here.
Man, we don't have a guest this week.
Yeah, but you could contribute.
This isn't Dora. I'm running out of names, but it's Matt Riddlin.
All right, that one's not terrible.
Well, I'm going outside of weed now. I'm just doing drugs in general.
Just drugs.
I've run out of. It's getting harder and harder every week.
Well, you know what hasn't gotten harder? I should probably rephrase this right now. We're talking about wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, this week. We're talking about...
Oh, also, this is officially the first episode on Podbean.
Yeah!
First episode.
I was not told this ahead of time, so this is coming as a complete shock to me.
Last episode was supposed to, and then things happened with our guest. And
okay, yeah, I guess we should point that out. Since
we just didn't feel like it was a good enough episode to produce.
There's just a bunch of things didn't go quite exactly our way on that episode. Therefore, we had to postpone some things. Hopefully, this one goes off a little bit better. But yeah. The reason why you didn't get an episode last week is because we just didn't. We feel like we could have given you a little bit better, and we are. We're going to do it starting now. Now, Adam, I need some enthusiasm.
Woo!
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And you better.
No, wait. We don't woo anymore. Yeah.
By the way, we don't have a guest this week.
No, it's just us this week because our guest that was supposed to be on had to back out. And then everybody else was too late.
It's the bad time. It is currently 10 where he is, 7:30 where I am. And considering we do this for almost 4 hours.
Maybe it will be different tonight. The shows lately have been 3. We've been doing good.
Well, we've got some stuff to talk about here. We're going to be going over the news, of course. We're going to talk about Dynamite and Rampage. We're going over the season finale of Dark Side of the Ring, the Steroid Trials. We'll be talking about that later. And a special mystery box. I don't know why I'm doing that now, because Halloween is already passed.
Does that mean it's not?
Does that mean it's not what?
What originally was set?
What was originally set?
The ROH thing.
The what? Oh, no, the ROH thing is being saved for the newscast.
Oh, okay, so we have a whole different ending. Great, I have no idea.
Nope. All I'm just going to say is you might want to get your game pants ready, Adam.
Start off the show.
But enough about that. We're going to get to that later. Let's just jump right into it. Let's get on to our AEW Dynamite review.
And a crash and a boom and a bang and a flash. I thought we were doing Rampage again. I'm still
it's Wednesday.
And a boom, bang, bing, bing, bang, and a bing, bang, and a boom, and Cody Rhodes. That show's over already, apparently.
Yeah, the season finale was this week, I think.
Apparently they were doing 2 episodes a week.
Huh.
And now the show's over. It's season 1's done. It's 4 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. So,
it's Halloween edition. Even though this episode will have come out after Halloween.
Not only is it Halloween, we're back on Wednesdays. Wednesday Night Dynamite.
Thank you so much.
And so we get things started. We get all the explosion. We get welcome to the show. And we start off with the first match, which was CM Punk versus Bobby Fish. This all stemming from the fact that Bobby Fish was a massive douche to Anthony Green on their last match on Dynamite and attacked him, and Punk came out because he's a good dude. And that's basically where we are with this. So, Punk and Fish have a pretty decent match here. I thought this was probably like the weakest of the set of matches Punk has had against his opponents, but I still thought this was pretty good. Fish was mostly, he didn't do much of anything noteworthy here. He just kind of like was mostly stuck to like the kicking and the punching and the submissions. He was mostly getting the heat in this match. Punk, you could tell that the honeymoon period isn't quite over just yet with Punk, because the man was doing body slams, and it was probably the most over thing he did in this entire match. Which I feel like that's just gonna be his thing going forward with this face run, is the body slams. Which that'd be interesting. But
How do you feel about it?
About the body slams?
I don't know. It just, again, I do agree with you. This was probably my least favorite of his matches. And again, he's kind of been doing the Bryan thing where it's like, oh, I want every match to sort of be different feeling. But, Bryan, who never took a break, Punk 7 years, his idea is more like, oh, I got to prove that I can still go. He could still go.
Obviously.
I don't know. I just don't think this was all that special.
It just didn't help that Fish didn't really do much either here as well.
No, yeah, I don't know. Me personally, I've been seeing people, and I have a friend who watches, and he's a lapsed fan, and like AEW got him back in, so he didn't really know about the Punk not being around thing. And I don't know if you're seeing this, but from that person and then a few people on Twitter, is the honeymoon period over?
I don't think it is yet. I think
because some people, some people are starting to get tired of CM Punk.
I see that with some people, like they're kind of getting tired of. I'm happy to be back, CM Punk. I see some of it. I think
not even that. It's also too much CM Punk.
Like the brand.
I think a lot of people.
Saturated.
I don't know. I think a lot of people were expecting Punk to sort of be like a here and there player, still on the show, but not. I don't think people. I personally wasn't expecting every episode almost Punk involvement.
Yeah, I can see how people. It's like if he's not wrestling, he's on commentary, and it's like, so it's not like
I like him on comm, but I'm not like. I don't need every time he's on comm, he gets his own entrance.
Right. And I get that. Do I think it's like, I think we're getting to that point. I think, like, fans, still, the majority of them are just very happy that he's back. And I think they're just going to stick with that for as long as they can. And considering what happened on Rampage, like, we might just be like, finally, we might have a direction for Punk now, but we will get to that when we get to Rampage. But yeah, just a very old school heel versus face match. Fish worked him over. Punk came back. He hit the GTS on Fish and got the 3.1 count on him before Fish decided to kick out.
What do you think about that?
I don't know. Like, that was weird. I don't know if that was like a part of the plan or anything, or because Punk was...
I've seen some people say like, oh, because it took Punk a while, like, to get to the pin, it makes it seem like, oh, if he was just a second shorter, he would have gotten the kick out.
Right.
But like,
you saw Punk's face after the match, right?
Yeah, and what?
Did you see his face? Like, he was just
I didn't.
He was just staring down the referee for a good, like, 15 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why...
I don't know. It was very strange, and clearly this isn't a feud because we know what happens. So just interesting. Did Bobby go into business or what was this?
I have no idea. Apparently, there hasn't been much to be.
There hasn't been any talk about it, which
Yeah.
I'm surprised, but because I thought that would have had a bit more of a reaction. But you know, it is what it is. Again, fun. I like the match. I don't know if I would have had this be opener though.
Yeah.
Because Punk comes out and it's all cool, but the match itself, I don't think had a lot of heat from the crowd at all.
No. And I just think that's because the whole heel Bobby Fish thing just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of where we are with that. But good match. Punk wins. We'll see what he's doing on Rampage.
I'm way more excited.
We get a promo package for Malachi Black telling how this wasn't about pinfalls, it wasn't about submissions. I did what I set out to you. I made you the monster that these people now see you for. You're a fraud now, and that's because of me. And the House of Black always wins. And that's where we're going with this. And this
it was really cool. He fades into the background.
Fades to black! He fades to black!
I don't know. Look. Fuck it. This was not what I thought or anybody thought initially what AEW was going to do with him. And it's the best shit almost in AEW right now is this Cody Rhodes and Malachi feud.
It's so great. Especially now
it's extremely good.
Especially after what happens later down in the show too.
Genuinely is going to be a sleeper for feud of the year.
I would say that if the whole Hangman versus Kenny thing hadn't been.
I said sleeper.
I don't. Why are you sleeping?
I feel like people are sleeping on this feud though.
I don't know what to tell you.
I feel like stupid marks are falling into the trap here. And they're booing Cody, and they're not realizing that's what we want you to be doing right now.
Well, I
think it's a great feud.
Well, I think we'll touch more on that when we get to the promo later on tonight. But we're going to move on here. MJF taking on one Bryce Donovan. And
1/3 of the Shook Crew.
Yeah. This doesn't go long. MJF...
No, he beats the fuck out of Bryce.
He beats the crap out of him. He hits the heat seeker, and then he gets the pin in a minute.
Proud Papa Brian Myers, though. All his Creator Pro guys.
Excalibur had a great line saying MJF fulfilled his quarterly wrestling obligation. I thought
that was very funny.
That was very funny. MJF called Boston an absolute shithole.
MJF was very confusing here because he was like, "Oh, your women are fucking ugly, but your mom fucks me." I'm like, you can't have your cake. Are they ugly or do you fuck them? Because if you're fucking them, you're admitting that you fucked them and they're ugly. I don't know, MJF. I don't know about.
So this all leads to, of course, the fans wanting to see Darby, but MJF is like, I'd like Darby here too, but apparently he's too scared to, fight me and whatever. Says he's a future world champion and all that. And then out of nowhere, Sting's music starts playing.
Oh, no.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Yeah, Sting's music.
Yeah, no. I thought he played. Yes, Sting's music plays. Lol, I'm Shawn Michaels.
And of course, it was all just a ruse.
It was a ruse
by Shawn Spears and MJF. But guess who wasn't a part of it? Guess who wasn't made aware of that?
JPEG Mafia.
No. Wardlow.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were all laughing, and Wardlow turned around and because he didn't know what the hell was going on. And it turned out to be a whole ruse. Which is, again, more setting up with this whole MJF and Wardlow situation. And it seems like we're continuing on with it more than we have previous years.
We're getting closer.
Yeah. So...
then
we
get a video package.
Well, the lights go out first, and then MJF's like, "Ha, Spears, very funny."
And Spears, I thought this was one of the funnier bits of the night. In just pure darkness, you just hear Spears. I didn't do it.
I didn't do that.
That wasn't me.
And
then, like a really cool, like slow down version of MJF's theme starts to play, which I thought was really cool. And it's some guy, and he's got an MJF mask on. And then
JPEG Mafia,
just all of a sudden, an MJF fake guy comes out. JPEG's like, "Is that MJF?" And then Darby just out of nowhere drop kicks this fucker. I don't know where this was.
Speaking of JPEG Mafia, I just listened to his newest album. Do you know that he has the Arn Anderson promo just like literally playing throughout his one of his songs?
Glock?
Yeah, the Glock promo.
That's amazing.
It's really fucking good.
Well, you know what? Here's the difference. At least Arn Anderson's not a bitch like Greg Hamilton.
That's for true. Steve.
We'll talk about him a little later.
So, Steve, yes.
Oh, yeah, and then, so that happened.
Why was Darby dressed up like the Invisible Man?
No, it was Halloween. You're jumping ahead. So that plays, then Sting shows up. He got the baseball bat. He's going to town. And then MJF says, "No, peace." He goes out in the crowd, and it's the Invisible Man. And it's Darby!
It's Darby Allin.
It was Halloween.
What are you talking about?
It was a Halloween episode. He was in costume.
But this was on the 27th.
Yeah, but it was the Halloween edition.
No, it was on the... Wait. No. Yeah. Yeah, it was on the 27th.
Yeah. So it's the Invisible Man's Darby, and he's back in a huge reaction from the crowd. He starts to go to town on MJF. MJF gets in the ring. Darby goes under the ring. What does he find? Skateboard. But not just any skateboard.
Yeah,
it's the thumbtack skateboard.
And he puts it into the back of Wardlow. Did you see the pictures?
Well, before that, they sort of feed him to Darby as Sean Spears and MJF get the fuck out of there, and then just cracked on the back. And yeah, that blood seeped right through, and I saw the pictures afterwards. Those were some deep-ass holes.
That was sick. That was
sick-looking holes.
I can't believe anybody would take that. But
well, he's the second person to do it.
Yeah.
Behind Ricky.
Nuts.
So that's the end of that. Darby's back.
Darby pretty much got on the microphone.
Oh, he challenges
he says,
for Full Gear.
Full Gear.
Which is going to be a great match. But the real, that match storyline is pretty much set in stone. Yes. But the real takeaway from all of this, Wardlow. One, he was left out of the gag, and two, motherfucker just took a thumbtack board.
He was left for dead by his own accountability.
Yeah, what's up with that?
It's bullshit.
See, it's just like Butters, man. Wardlow's gonna hang himself.
No!
That's a joke. It's a reference to South Park.
Alright, moving on here. We go backstage. Britt Baker and friends are backstage. And
wearing the best sweater ever. Because it was an Oogie Boogie sweater.
Baker's just pretty much running down the competition, and then Shivani's like, hold on, Britt, I've been made aware by Tony Khan that on Rampage, you're going to be fighting Abaddon in a trick-or-treat match. And if Abaddon wins that match, she gets a future AEW World Women's Championship match.
This all stems from apparently on the Jericho Cruise, there was a match, and Britt said, peace.
Oh yeah, Britt,
and Tony said, no, not on my watch. And so Britt finds out about this, and Britt's like, the fuck?
Man, it'd be great if someone got some fucking footage of that shit.
I didn't even know that. The only footage I saw was anything involving Ospreay and Cassidy and all that.
I saw the karaoke stuff.
And I saw Danhausen, who will be joining AEW soon.
Is Ospreay going to be in AEW? Because this seems like what this
Danhausen is.
Well, Danhausen's injured, isn't he?
No, he's got fired.
Well, I know that, but he got injured.
Is he hurt?
Yeah, him and Mance Warner got hurt on it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Recently?
Yeah, it happened like yesterday.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, well, I guess we'll wait till we'll talk about that in the news, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so this Friday, this last Friday, in a few minutes, we'll talk about what happened between Abaddon and Britt Baker on Rampage. So yeah, that's the end of this segment. Britt gets all upset. Yada yada yada.
TNT title match.
This was very good.
I like
this. Was a great match because Ethan got to wrestle.
Yeah,
which was awesome. And the best part, everybody was barred, so there was gonna be no shenanigans. We were about to have a straight up fight, and these two, what a surprise, can really, really go.
I thought
Sammy hits this crazy ass card,
came off
which is
like
awesome.
Came off like a fucking maniac in this match. The dude did a fucking shooting star press to Ethan while he's on the outside, which wouldn't be such a big deal if Ethan wasn't fucking standing and he just did like a fucking shooting star body press to the outside onto Ethan Page. That was ridiculous.
Double springboard cutter was awesome. He's been like doing now lately.
It's so pretty. It's so pretty looking.
And Ethan, of course, just a great like powerhouse for this match. He's doing his shtick. He's so good.
That fucking shoulder block that Sammy sold like a fucking Rikishi bump was amazing.
For a shoulder block. But a very, very good match right here. There's a crazy Spanish fly that's only a near fall. That leads to the big shooting star on the outside. I'm just trying to remember some of the things that happened in here.
Near the end, Guevara tried to go for a shooting star, but Ethan moved out of the way. Ethan tries to go for, I think he was trying to go for the Ego's Edge, but Sammy counters it into a jackknife for the victory. And so...
He does the jackknife, leads to the shooting star for the victory.
No. He wins
with a shooting star for the win.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
He didn't win with the shooting star.
It's in my notes.
I saw the match!
Well, AEW needs to start making their notes better.
Ethan attacks Guevara after the match, obviously.
Here comes Scorpio.
Yeah, Scorpio comes out, attacks him.
And then it's the return of the Inner Circle's all back, and they get Pyro!
Pyro and Jericho's music. They don't stop. This whole run-in does not stop until Jericho's music is done playing.
It's like, what? New Jack?
This was the most awkward run-in of all time, but nobody cared because they got to sing along with Jericho's music.
Jericho wearing sneakers now.
Yeah.
Also, he's like, oh, cool. I really liked wearing these when I was Orange Cassidy. I guess I'm just going to wear sneakers. So Jericho coming out in his like Rockadad attire and then just wearing sneakers is just a weird fucking look. But whatever. The Inner Circle's all back together, and they, of course, they chase off Paige and Sammy, and
this basically all leads to Jericho coming out, says it's going to be Inner Circle versus the American Top Team in a Minneapolis
street fight. And next week, or this week on Dynamite, we're going to find out which members of Top Team are going to be picked. And I'm still banking. I think, now that it's officially a street fight, I think Paige is going to be on the team.
That'd be awesome.
I think Jericho is going to go in it with the whole, like, I pick Paige because she's the girl, and, I don't know.
Misogyny.
A little bit, but I wouldn't like go full on with it. I think it's just going to be like they're going to think it, and then for some reason I feel like, and then Paige is just going to obviously prove that she can. I don't know where this is leading, but if I'm looking at Top Team and I'm thinking of people who have a future here, I think again, I don't know what Paige's whole deal is, but you could easily turn this into a huge push for a Paige Van Zandt AEW run.
Absolutely.
Because out of all of them, she's the only one who's not a UFC fighter anymore. She's bare knuckle fighting. So it's not like you have to worry about all the Dana White stuff and making sure she's in fight strength. Everybody else is still under contract, and the other, Junior Dos Santos isn't here for forever. So yeah, if I had to think, I think it's going to be. Also, I think this is also going to make sense because it's top team. Dan Lambert's going to be picked.
That'd be great.
I think Jericho's whole thing is, Lambert will be going off being like, you picked this and this person. Who else are you going to pick? We look at all the amount of talent we have. They can kick your ass. And Jericho's going to say, and then Dan Lambert. And then Dan will probably have some really good facial expression. The fact, once he said street fight, I knew this is going to be a way more different. This ain't a wrestling. This is going to be a just stupid clusterfuck match. And it's a great way to get Dan involved so he can get his comeuppance. So, yeah, I guess, I don't know. This is one of those, like we said, this is one of those feuds where it's like 1 week, I think it's complete utter garbage. And then next week, all of a sudden, I'm into it. So,
yeah.
But then
it's a very mixed bag.
It is. We'll see what happens come Full Gear. Hopefully, that seems to probably be the end of it. But then after this, we get my favorite promo of the whole night. Is this backstage segment with Eddie and Brian?
Yeah, Eddie. It's Shivani. Yeah, Shivani's backstage with them.
Yes.
Eddie and Danielson are pretty much in their fucking street gear. Kingston pretty much.
No, they weren't. Eddie was, but Danielson was in the AEW official white T-shirt.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
It's the official AEW sponsored white T-shirt.
It looked like how he dresses when he's outside of the ring.
Yeah, he's a company man. He wears AEW sponsored white T-shirt.
You're in a white T-shirt.
No, I'm wearing the gray T-shirt.
So Kingston is pretty much like he pretty much brought up the fact that Brian said that the last time they met, because they had already had a promo beforehand saying that
it was last week before
Road to
the Top.
And Brian was like,
which was also really good. And Brian was all like, "Where's the Eddie Kingston I know? Where's the killer? Who the fuck's this guy?" And Eddie's like, "Fuck you."
So he's like, brought up the fact that Brian said he didn't work hard that's why he's not world champion. And he goes off and say like, I have to battle depression. I have to take Zoloft just so I don't flip out and hurt people. I have to live with all that and still like do what I do. So the fact that the fact is like you haven't walked a mile in my shoes, and the fact that you
don't tell me about hard work.
Yeah, and so
and then he walks off, and then Brian's like, "Yes, that's the Eddie Kingston I want, the one on drugs." I want the Eddie Kingston who does Zoloft and wants to kill people. That's the Eddie Kingston I know. But hey, guess what? I don't give a fuck if you're that Eddie Kingston, because that's the one I want to fight, but I'm still gonna kick your fucking ass.
Still the best wrestler in the fucking world.
I don't care if you want to listen to me or you don't want to listen to me, but I'm gonna beat you on Friday when you give me your best. I was like, okay, sure. I fucking love it.
Let's fucking go.
Danielson's just a fucking asshole again. Which is awesome. He's just the American Dragon. Great shit. And then match of the night? Oh, well, match of the night, I guess, in wrestling terms.
No, I thought this was absolutely match of the fucking night.
Oh, I really love the main event.
I love the main event too, but I just thought
if I'm talking straight up wrestling, it's this. Before this, we get it's not really much of a promo, but we get the confirmation: FTR, Lucha Brothers, Full Gear with the tag belts. So that's confirmed. Yay! It's TBS first round. It's the return match: Sheeta and Deeb. Can Sheeta get her 50th win back, or will Deeb play spoiler again? And damn,
this is my second favorite match in AEW's women's history. This is my second favorite women's match in this company's history. It was so fucking good.
Oh, it is. It's fantastic. It was like, I feel like everybody was expecting them to top, or at least do just as well as the first time. And yeah, damn straight they did that. And I still, with how it ends, this ain't over.
No. So, even before the match begins, Serena's got new gear that looks like fucking Bret Hart inspired gear. And then Cheetah comes out, and she's got her broken trophy with her. The trophy she was supposed to take after she got her 50th win, but now she can't have because Serena broke it and crushed her dreams, and you could see it on her face. She's pissed. She wants to come into this match. She wants to destroy Serena. And that was all you needed for this match. And Jesus Christ, this was so good. They have such great chemistry with one another. Serena, I don't know how the fuck the Fed didn't see anything in this woman. She's easily, like...
You gotta think, though, when they had her, we haven't even gotten to AJ and, like, Paige and Caitlyn yet.
But nothing they saw.
Well, yeah,
nothing?
They said, well, she was in the Mae Young, right?
Yeah, and she was great in that, too.
Because you know how the company, I feel...
It's ridiculous.
I feel her age has something to do with it.
This is bullshit.
Because she's not young. And two, I don't think this. But if I'm Vince, if I'm looking at Serena, I'm thinking, oh, she looks too much like a mom.
That's the same problem they had with Molly, too.
And look what happened to Molly. She had to literally shave her head.
Molly had to get fucking shaved because she had a big butt. I hate this fucking company.
Well, I mean, if she would have been now, I think it would have been different. We didn't like butts in 2005.
Dude, if Molly Holly was around, she'd be the most popular wrestler of all time. Like,
she still is.
She's the greatest.
So, and I feel like that's the thing that hampers Deeb in the Fed, is that she just didn't look like Kelly. Well,
guess what? Now AEW
now she's in here, and she's fucking amazing.
Fucking best. Man, I give her the belt at this point. I'm being fucking serious. She is so fucking good.
The main or
yes, the main.
Oh, okay.
Main belt.
Would you say her over Thunder?
Yes, absolutely.
Damn, okay. But, alright. But anyway, this match, there's the only reason we're talking is there's just too much to talk about in the match wrestling-wise. I just recommend go watch it.
Serena does a fantastic job going after Sheeta's legs, of course, being that she fucking wrecked her legs in the last match. Of course, she's going to go after it. She did the figure four around the post. Her fucking catching the Tamashii into a single leg Boston Crab and then turning that into a reverse Indian Deathlock. Dude, she is on another fucking level. She is on another level. And Sheeta is just fantastic. She sets up her chair to do the fucking drop kick spot.
Serena says no,
gets out of there. But she ain't done with that. She ain't taking no for an answer. Goes off the steps, gives her a drop kick, incoming into her face. It was so fucking good. I can't talk about how just good this match was because it's really just fucking good. And me talking about it makes me want to go watch it again.
I also like they got 10 minutes. They had a lot of time to go out there. I will say this, I think it's very funny, I'll bring it up here, that so far, listen to this, people. To all those people out there who still hate on the AEW women's thing. And again, it's not perfect yet, but it's getting better. But so far, between this match and the first match we saw between, who was it again? Ruby and the Bunny?
Yes.
So far, those two matches combined have been more time by 5 seconds over the entire Queen's Quest tournament. Or whatever the fuck it was called. Queen's Crown.
Queen's Crown, yes. 2
matches in the first round have eclipsed by 5 seconds the entire tournament length.
So
wanted to bring that up there.
So Sheeta gets out. So Sheeta grabs the ropes to get out of the Indian Deathlock. Deep then gets desperate. She goes for the plaque, but Sheeta gets it. knocks it out of her hands. She gets it. She picks it up, and she looks at her. She's about to get her revenge.
She can't do it.
She can't do it. She gives the referee the plaque. Deeb pokes her in the eyes, goes for the small package. She tries to go for the detox, but gets rolled.
Sheeta reversed it into a roll-up, and 1, 2, 3!
Oh.
Sheeta becomes the first woman in AEW to get 50 wins. But it's not over. The honeymoon is completely ruined because Sheeta with the chop block!
Deeb chop block Sheeta. Rams just completely goes after her, like grabs a chair, Pillmanizes her. It just...
Jerry Lynn has to come out. I feel like this would have been solved a lot quicker if he would have just, done the Jerry Lynn voice, but he didn't do that.
Dude.
Everybody would listen, But so this is not over, and it has not been confirmed yet, at least to my knowledge, that she is not going to be competing still. I felt, but then again, with how many weeks there are still to go, I do think there's going to be some form of an injury implated here for Sheeta within the next round of the tournament. I think she's going to lose.
Oh, absolutely. I don't see
that
it. She's got to face Nyla next. I don't think she's getting past her.
And then that has to set up probably for Full Gear on the final match between Sheeta and Deeb. Whatever that is, if there's a stipulation added to it or not, we'll find out. Maybe no DQ. But I'm very excited to see more Sheeta and Deeb. So Sheeta's on the next round. This Wednesday is going to be Anna and Hayter, and then on Friday we will see Red Velvet and Penelope. No, Penelope fought Ruby. We're going to see the Bunny and Red Velvet on Friday.
Yes. Wait, I thought we were going to see Anna and Hayter on Friday.
No, isn't that Dynamite?
Is it Dynamite? I thought it was Rampage.
I'll find out. Keep going. Next,
all right.
We have backstage.
So we're backstage, Shivani. We were supposed to have...
So, what, is Mike hurt? I didn't know that.
Apparently, yeah, Mike's injured. So it's like, we're not doing the tag match. And so, now that means it get changed to a one-on-one match. It'll be Dante Martin taking on Matt Sydal for the third time in AEW. And, that was pretty much as it. Leo, being the crafty little man that he is, says that Mike just wasn't ready for this, and that come Rampage, Dante is going to be fully prepared for Matt Sydal this time around. Because we got to remember, Dante has never beaten Matt one-on-one in the ring before. So, could he do it on Rampage? We'll find out. But after this...
That's the best thing on the night. No, we're not there yet. After this,
it's John Moxley.
We watch Preston 10 Vance die. So this match got announced. I was like, they really like Preston, a lot. So he's not going to get squashed. And the match starts, and it's not. It's not a squash.
Well, the match starts, and Moxley comes right out of the gate with a fucking German suplex.
Yeah. But then immediately after that, I was like, oh, okay, now, and then he give Paradigm, and we're going to go home, right? No, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We're actually going to give, because Preston sort of comes back a little. Then that's immediately ended.
He gets a few shots in, and then immediately Mox is like, all right, you're done. You're done. He throws him into the steps, and then at this point, he's on the outside. He's beating the shit out of Preston. He's
bleeding.
He starts tearing off the mask, and then he starts digging his teeth into Preston's forehead, and Preston is just
is a mess.
He's a fucking mess, bro. I was concerned, and the after pictures were no better because he's got a huge ass scar and a bump on the top of his forehead. It looked gross. But
Preston fights back a little bit. He gets a cool pump kick. That doesn't fucking do anything because Moxie just gets right back out of the corner with fucking punches.
He clotheslines him.
And then Paradigm Shift, which So he's just doing the Death Rider now?
Yeah.
But we're still calling it the Paradigm Shift?
Yes.
Alright, I guess.
So...
Crazy he picked that motherfucker up.
He just picked him up.
Like, yeah, Preston's not a small guy. He's a tall dude. Picks him up, drops on his head. 1, 2, 3. Moxley says, deuces, and he's gone.
I love this. I fucking love this. I already love Moxley, but, like, if this heel run is what...
It's weird, like, almost Kevin Owens-esque, like, all I care about is my daughter. I fight for my family. I fight for my family, but if that means I have to, like, literally, like, mangle you for it, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Exactly.
Sure.
It's...
I like a new edge to Moxley here.
I love this. This was everything it needed to be. It got over Moxley well. Vance will not lose anything from this.
Yeah.
Absolutely
not.
Vance will have his time to come back and try to come back for his revenge. But right now, this is what Moxley needs.
This is awesome. So right now, Moxley has moved on. We know he'll be fighting Orange Cassidy on Wednesday, which that's the match to look out for. Not because of how good it's going to be. I mean, it'll probably be good, but that's got to be the match where we solidify the heel turn, because it's Orange Cassidy.
Yes. And we got to remember, Orange is still injured with his ribs.
Yeah, it's true. Will Moxley take advantage? He damn right
he's
will.
He's going to fucking kill him.
Yeah, and then after this, I can't believe it's Sahaya. I can't fucking believe it. John Cena's here.
What?
John Cena comes out with Arn Anderson.
I don't know. What?
Yeah!
I don't wait, what's going on?
AEW's very own John Cena.
Oh, yeah. Okay, see, that's why... I wasn't alone on thinking that, because this was a very...
This was a Cena promo.
This was very much
it wasn't
Cena
just
promo.
Me. Twitter, immediate... John Cena was trending for like 30 minutes after this promo, just because of how many people were being like, oh, Cody's John Cena now. John probably, like, somebody probably told him, been like, hey, John, you're trending. And he would have been like, what? And then he looked, he's like, oh, what the fuck?
So,
because this straight up was, like, Cody came out and he was like, I love all of you. I love you, Arn. I'm sorry. I'll never turn heel. Straight up says that, too. Just says it.
So he's all like, he comes out, obviously he gets booed, and he's like, I hear you guys. I hear you, but I'm not listening to you. I'm not turning. I'm sorry. I love you all way too much. I got too much love in my heart for all of you. I got too much love for you, Arn. Man, I love you, man. My dad's better than me. My brother is better than me. Fucking, I'm gonna take off my shoes so you guys can all get so I can put you guys in my shoes, like all that. He's hamming it up out there. He's like, this is. I want to say this is like this is almost like parody Cena at this point.
He mentions. This was the one part I was like, I didn't know what move he was talking about, but he's like, oh, I hit a tiger drive.
He was talking about
but he's like, oh, but if I would have hit a different move, and I was like, what move?
It's the pedigree.
Do you know what he was talking about, or
the pedigree? Because the double underhook.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But he says he didn't because that would have been the easy way out. He apologizes to all the Nightmare family. He says, if I've never told you, let me tell you right now, it's a damn honor to stand in the ring with you. I apologize. You were right.
I love you.
The crowd is still booing. They start chanting for Arn, but the crowd is booing Cody.
And at this point, Andrade is like, shut
the fuck up. Listen, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Listen. The difference between us is, we both get booed. But I don't give a fuck about these people.
I don't even like these people.
Like you.
These people fucking
I don't like you here. This place sucks. I just want to get paid. I hate these people. Shut the fuck up, Cody. You make he talks about he mentions his stupid tattoo, like a bunch of the choices he's made, the other stupid choice he's made
crowd
was
pop for that.
Getting involved. Yes, they did. the other stupid choice he made was getting involved in Andrade's business. And he says, but wait, because I can make you a little bitch if you want one, if you want to be one, and that sets things off. But hold on, the lights go out. And they were in Boston, Zahia. Now, Philadelphia is not that far away from Boston.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, Sabu.
Why?
And it wasn't.
It's always Malachi. It's never going to be Sabu.
Until the day it is Sabu, it will always hope to be Sabu. But it's not. It's Malachi, which is cool.
He
gets in the ring, crowd goes, whoa, and then immediately just spray fight going on.
So, yeah,
they start to beat up on Arn.
Yeah. And then they beat
Until
up
the
on
bastard.
Cody. And then Pac comes out. And he evens the odds, and he takes both of them out, and they both start running. And Pac does Malachi's springboard moonsault top, where he does the moonsault, he does the backflip.
Onto them, yeah.
And then he does the crisscross sit down, and it flips off. And
he flips off. It's crazy.
Fucky.
It's just a crazy fucking badger.
I love this man.
I
love him so much.
Look, I was not expecting this to happen out of everything, but I'll take the tag match with all four of these guys. Pac just being a crazy little bastard, and Cody trying to deal with that, and then obviously there's the history with Andrade and Malachi. Sure, why not give all these guys an opportunity? And it's also fuck you, W. Look at all the talent you just got rid of.
There's history between all four of these because Pac beat Cody at SummerSlam one time.
When he was Stardust.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that, though.
He had Arrow with him because
Pac
was a fucking superhero.
Remember the Cosmic Wasteland?
No!
Where are they nowadays?
Hold on. I think they might be in NWA. I'm not sure.
The Ascension?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do not quote me on this. But I think that's the last place I heard they were.
That feels about right.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, cool shit. I'm excited. Let's go.
This is great.
It's definitely going to be a tag match at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely. We get a Rampage rundown. If you want to run down that real quick.
So for the show we're about to review?
Okay, you know what? Fuck you then.
I can run down what will be happening this week on Dynamite if you'd like that.
Sure.
Because this week on Dynamite, we have a few matches announced. Got a few announced. Of course, Moxley takes on Orange in the semifinals. We'll see how that goes. Anna Jay will be fighting Jamie Hayter on Dynamite.
Okay.
With the next round of the TBS Women's title. Cody Rhodes will clash with Andrade El Idolo in a first-time encounter. That should be entertaining. And that's all I have right now.
I'm sure some more things will get announced.
I'm going to go on their Twitter and see if they announced anything. But
yeah, because
all I had.
Elevation ended.
And last week when we did it, all of a sudden MJF had a match on the show, and I was like, But now it is time for the main event of the evening. An 8-man tag match between the Dark Order, the team of John Silver, Stu Grayson, Evil Uno, and my boy Colt Cabana against the Elite, the Bucks, the Bucks, Omega, and Cole.
When I tell you, you right now,
I don't know, man.
I did not stop laughing until the second bell rang. I'm not kidding.
I was laughing the whole time. This whole match, everything about it. It took me back to the basketball thing that they did.
Yeah.
With the Space Jam shit, except way more fucking outlandish. So the Dark Order come out and they're all in costumes. So we got Stu Grayson.
So Stu Grayson's Kratos. Silver
is a deer?
Silver is Bambi. He's Bambi. Because remember last week he said, I'm going to go as Bambi. He said in the promo.
Oh, I don't remember him saying he was Bambi. He comes out and I'm like, he's a reindeer.
He comes out as Bambi. Fucking Uno comes out. He's
as Hangman.
Yeah, as a cowboy.
I don't think he was Hangman. He's on a horse.
Yeah, he's got a horse.
One of those two people horses.
I'm gonna be completely. I thought the Hangman was gonna be the horse. I was completely
hook, line, and sinkered by the Stay Puft thing. We'll get to that though. And then Colt Cabana dressed up as Brandon Cutler, which was awesome.
That was great.
Full on everything with the jumpsuit, but still wearing his Colt Cabana headband.
He also mentioned, because he did the fucking cold spray spot, and fucking Cabana put it out on Twitter that he thought he had frostbite afterwards because he didn't know how to properly use the cold spray.
There's the spot I know we're jumping because we haven't even gotten to the Elite entrance yet, but the spot in the match where he starts spraying, was it Matt in the corner, and then Matt gets he leaves the corner and Colt is still just mocking to the camera while he sprays. I thought that was some of the funniest shit ever. And after when he made that post, I was like, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen if you just stand there and keep spraying that long. It's going to freeze up.
Yeah.
But then, all of a sudden, so originally, the Elite were supposed to have Squid Game-inspired, entrance and gear, and Warner were like, that ain't happening. We don't own that.
Yeah.
So in, the last, 3 hours before show goes up, they give... what's his name? Mikey Ruckus?
Mikey Ruckus.
They're like, hey, we need a Ghostbusters theme parody stat. And that fucker, in 2 hours, whipped up something really funny. So all of a sudden, like a fake Ghostbusters
really
thing starts playing. It was a really good parody. And they come out in Ghostbusters gear to the fucking theme of We Ain't Afraid of No Budge.
I ain't afraid of no budge.
What the fuck? And so it's the leader of the Ghostbusters. Michael Nakazawa is a big baby. And Brandon Cutler is the Stay Puft. Is it though, Brandon Cutler? We'll have to
of course it's Brandon. He's a part of the Elite. And why wouldn't it be Brandon?
Hook, line, and sinker, I tell you. That I had no idea that it was.
I literally thought that Hangman was the horse. I thought that was going to be the reveal. But
so this is just... If there was a more Chikara PWG match that AEW has ever done, this is it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it will be topped until next Halloween.
This was just pure insanity throughout. It was all gimmick. It was all
gimmick. It was all bits. The whole match was a bit.
Fucking, we got being the Elite segment stuff there. We got the fucking Silver with Adam and just call it the budge.
What is... I don't understand it still.
I don't get it. He just went on... So Cole's just on being the Elite. And so Silver and Reynolds are trying to be Cole's friend. And so they start calling him Budge.
Apparently it's because Silver thought that when he goes boom, he says budge?
He says budge or boobs. It's all about the...
fucking stupid.
It's all about the boobs.
And that's his whole match. His whole match was stupid fun.
Fucking
it's stupid fun.
They do the fucking... Some fans pointed out that last time they did the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle spot, and they did it again here with their...
With the
Proton. Fucking JR had the fucking best...
JR lost it. He's like, Proton packs. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about here?
JR... If there was one match that JR could have said, okay, you know what, Tony, I quit, it was this
He was so fucking done.
He was so done. He was like,
Shivani's like, Shivani having to go, oh, he hit him with the proton pack. He's like, you motherfucking.
He hit him with the what? What the fuck are we talking about right now? Where the hell are we here? He's a reindeer. What is this shit?
Okay.
And then they just fucking kill Colt Cabana. They just powerbomb onto the proton packs.
Yeah.
Which looked nasty. That must have not been fun.
Silver got his nice run-in thing before you got...
Over doing all of this in a deer costume is very impressive.
Really
and also
ridiculous.
extremely funny because he's got the little, like, black nose.
I was glad to see Cabana get some shine here, too, because he
got to do all his shit. It was really awesome.
Yeah, he got to do the moonsault, got hit the flying apple.
He tries to do the bionic elbow, but Kenny Omega tries to stop it, and he just says, all right, I'll do it to you then. Colt Cabana, everybody in this match was over. This crowd was so excited for this match.
So, I forget who it was. I'm pretty sure it was Grayson who was getting fucked over at this point. Because they're all the Elite's all in the middle of the ring. They're all like, fuck, they're taking control of the match. At one point, it was Rich Knox who was,
Rick Knox, yes.
Rick Knox who was,
Rick Knox gets taken out by a super kick.
Super kick, of course.
So,
not a damn thing changes there.
This leads to the Proton Pack spot, because how are they going to get away with it? It's DQ. And then, all of a sudden...
Horsehead!
The horsehead starts running in the ring! And it was at that moment, I knew. Because before he runs out, the Stay Puft Man starts kind of getting on the ring apron.
Right.
And if you paid attention to the match, he was very slow walking the whole time. Like, very slow as Stay Puft. I guess trying to make it more like, because it's Cutler. Cutler gets the shit kicked out of him. He just got his ass beat by Jungle Boy last week. So he starts creeping up onto the apron, and I'm looking at that, and I'm like, Cutler's gonna do something, or something's gonna happen. And then the horse runs out, and immediately when the horse ran out, I was like, oh my fucking god. They fucking got me. These motherfuckers got me. The horse runs in the ring, the Elite go,
Kick his ass. They kick him in the dick. They kick him in the dick, and then they all proceed to give him a fucking quadruple
fucking BT trigger
on the horse head.
And then they unmask him.
Like,
it's Brandon Cutler.
It's Cutler.
It's Cutler. Oh no, his mouth is taped up.
And then all Dark Order then proceed to take everyone except Matt Jackson.
Except Matt, and then the Stay Puft is right behind him. And this reveal, while extremely funny, was also fucking amazing.
It was so good.
They take the head off. It's Hangman. Hangman's face. Matt Jackson's face. And then Hangman, like, ducks him with a lariat. And then Hangman, like, celebrating in this giant Stay Puft costume. It was so fucking good. This crowd is also losing their mind for Hangman. I think this worked out great because even the crowd, who are, we're smart marks to the end, they didn't even know that Hangman was Stay Puft. I think everybody was expecting, BTE win, and then they beat up the Dark Order, and then Hangman comes to make the save. This was better than that.
So Hangman takes Matt's head off. The rest of the Dark Order comes in. Reynolds isn't even in the match. Fucking Evil Uno, Stu Grayson get in. They hit Matt with the fatality. 1, 2, 3. And I believe for the first time, Dark Order beaten
the Elite.
Yeah, they've beaten the Elite.
Also in the middle of this, the Deadeye returned, which was cool. I haven't seen the Deadeye in a while. Which, I guess makes sense. I don't want to see Hangman try and attempt a buckshot in the Stay Puft suit.
Right.
Because God knows. And so, big, happy celebration, the Dark Order and Hangman, and eventually he takes the suit off.
That's how you
and this is how you send... this is not only is how you do a Halloween show, this is how you do a special like this, and this is how you send home just a happy crowd. And, I want to bring it up because we saw it through Twitter after this. The comparisons to, this kind of a Halloween thing getting a lot of praise, but then when the W does it, people shit on it.
Well, I can explain that real quick. It's not funny. And I'll be completely blunt about that. It's not funny. I would rather see all this, because all of it had like a story, whether you knew it or not, whether it came from being the elite or is just a whole other thing in general. Everyone had a fucking part to play in this, which what made it so special. This wasn't just like, okay, some of it was comedy for the sake of comedy, but a lot of it had reasons behind it, which is like the minimal of what you could ask for. Why the fuck do I want to see a fucking, like, a random ass Halloween street fight match with a bunch of lower mid-card guys? Because that's what they usually do it with. And it's like, who fucking...
Well, that's where the comparison came in, because on Friday, they did the Trick or Street fight with...
With who?
Boogs. It was Boogs and Nakamura against Corbin and Moss.
You see my point?
Hold on. And a lot of people harped on, oh, well, why does AEW get away with doing comedy shit, but when WWE does it, it's like that. You just hate WWE.
It's not funny.
And the difference is that I've seen well-done Halloween WWE stuff before. Go back to the original, the SmackDown, the 2002 episode. That's one of the best episodes of SmackDown. Because they still knew what they were going for. Now it just feels like, oh, it's the holiday season, well, we need a holiday match. There was no Halloween party. Like, I'll give credit to NXT. I will give credit to NXT, because Halloween Havoc was really good, because they embraced the whole Halloween aspect. So it doesn't look out of place, and it doesn't look bad. I thought some of the comedy things on there was good.
These people don't even fucking dress up for these specialty matches sometimes. Normally they just come out.
Well, I'll let you know for the match, neither team dressed up, but Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza dressed up only to make the big surprise. They pretty much did the Hangman thing. They beat up Boogs, and then it was like, it was us all along. It was like, oh, there's your one costume gimmick of the whole night.
People want to know.
That's what I said. I'll give NXT credit, because at least that Halloween show was very fun.
There is an attempt. You have to recognize the hard work, because there was hard work that went into this match. I can notice that when you're just putting in lower mid-card guys for the sake of having a fucking gimmick match. You want to know why this shit works better in AEW, better than it does in WWE? Because so far, they give a shit. They fucking care. Your show...
What's that? Oh, Lord.
Your fucking show sucks ass! Raw! Let me fucking go for a second. Your fucking show sucks ass! Raw sucks ass! SmackDown sucks ass in the minute! You fucking assholes! You fucking people realize this will be the greatest moment of your lives, because then you will be able to let go of the absolute drizzling shit show that you watch on a weekly fucking basis for 5 fucking hours.
Very happy we got this in on the first Podbean episode.
My dog's looking at me like I'm fucking crazy.
I feel also that a lot of AEW, as you see, while I don't know what the extent of the writing room looks like in an AEW. We know that in WWE, the writers are kind of pretty much, they run the show. The wrestlers don't get a lot of say. A match like this, though, 100%, it was all of them figuring it out. And I'm going to even put more emphasis that I can see somebody like Colt Cabana really being the big portion of how this match was as entertainingly funny as it was, because Colt Cabana is a funny fucking guy. And AEW has the whereabout to say, well, this is what we want to do, but hey, guys who are in the match, what do you want to do as well to make it different, to make it stand out? Because that's what we've seen, that's what we've been hearing, is that there's so much freedom within how the shows go about. The wrestlers have a lot of say on the matches that they're a part of. In WWE, it's like, here's what you're doing today. All right, cool. All right. You really don't get to say, unless you're Roman Reigns or somebody, oh, I want to do this instead. So you get, here's just a trick or street fight. Go out there. We need it for the show. Have fun. This is what you need to do. And there's no entertainment. There's no enjoyment, because it's a voided gimmick. But AEW does it. You can clearly tell in a match like this, there was a lot of care put in to the gags, to the references, and just the overwhelming feel of like, hey guys, it's the Halloween show. Let's give the crowd a fun thing to do. And that's exactly what this was. WWE used to feel like that, but since in later years, because there was no competition,
later
they didn't have to.
Later? Do you mean in like the past 15?
No, because I remember them having decent, like, they put on some very entertaining.
I don't want decent anymore. I want good. I want great.
No, I get it.
I'm tired of decent.
Like their Christmas specials tend to be pretty well done because there's at least a little bit more emphasis, like Santa, and they have like the SmackDown set wasn't even like, how like even in the past, like the SmackDown graphics will be like bats and stuff. There wasn't even that. This is just episode of SmackDown that just so happened to have a trick or street fight on.
The shit was awesome.
It was very good. This was an extremely good episode of Dynamite.
I love this show. This
last hour was phenomenal. The Sheeta match and Deeb all the way up to here, fantastic shit. And I felt happy. I was like, good, great. I got my fill. I'm good entertainment. Let's move on to Dynamite, where, let's hope Dynamite's just as good.
We already did Dynamite.
Sorry, Rampage. We're going to go on a Rampage, which is dope. It's just as good.
Well, let's go on a Rampage then.
It's Rampage, baby.
See, that's all I wanted from you. Why couldn't you have given me that for the past 2 months?
Because I finally listened to the song. I watched Rampage and was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to it. Because Friday, I didn't watch it on Friday. I ended up watching it on Saturday for personal reasons that happened on Friday. That's the Haya knows about. We're not going to go into.
Yeah.
So I ended up watching this like online, so I had a bit more of like whereabout to be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna listen to this like 2 times just so I have an idea. And I hear it's Rampage, baby, and then I hear as it's CM Punk at the end, he goes, "It's time for Rampage." Everything in the middle, no, I have fucking idea what he said. Sorry, just goes too fast for me. But it's Rampage. The actual Halloween special, I guess, of the evening, because the whole thing was really decked out for Halloween. Of course, your main event of the evening will be the trick or street fight.
Trick or treat.
The trick or treat fight between Britt and Abaddon. But we open up with... Can we just talk about this and nothing else?
Well, we have to talk. I thought the other 2 matches were good in their own right.
But this match.
Yeah, this was
we kick off Bryan, Eddie Kingston. Now, I watched the fight feed, but did the Rampage feed on cable. There were no entrances, were there?
I don't remember.
All right. Well,
I came in like 3 minutes late.
Well, I was watching the fight feed because I really didn't want to sit through picture-in-picture for this match specifically. Yeah. And so I get the entrances and great shit. Everybody's over. Kingston almost just as over as Bryan, which I don't know how many times to say it, but maybe
they love him. They love him.
Let's give him the belt.
Give him a belt.
Give him the belt.
The belt? You want to give him the belt?
I would.
All right, against who?
This dude is so. When you're getting almost over cheered, and Bryan is in the match. Come on.
This match was awesome.
This match was fucking amazing.
You guys better get this in as much as you can, because this is like the closest to like an All Japan match in the United States that you will probably ever get.
Japan's really gone from like, I want to go to Japan, but I can't because COVID. So I'm just going to bring Japan to AEW.
Exactly.
And that's all, because that's all he's been doing, because he's been wrestling Japan matches, and this was so 1995.
They beat the fucking shit out of each other. Bryan's
kicks, punches, chops. Bryan's chest every week. has been like.
But more specifically, this because Eddie was laying them in this match.
This is everything I wanted from these two, and I don't. I'm gonna take a guess. They have wrestled before.
I believe so,
but I can't remember when. And that's got to be almost a decade at this point.
Yeah.
So now you're looking at seasoned Eddie Kingston, seasoned Bryan Danielson. Oh my God! Was I watching Nagata and Sasaki?
There's two grumpy old men just beating the
fuck out of each other. This match fucking.
Eddie was just like when you can just get like the simplest of pops off of just doing a DDT. Like that's when you
Isn't that crazy? He just like the DDT wasn't really in Eddie's arsenal until the Miro stuff started happening, and now it's just like a part of his like repertoire. And he hits a DDT, and his crowd it's like 1980 and Jake the Snake's in the ring again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just because that's Eddie though. Also, by the way, if we didn't mention, Ricky Starks and Taz and Jericho and Excalibur is on.
Oh, please. Don't worry. I noticed. I fucking noticed. That's not a good thing, by the way. Oh. Jericho and Ricky were very annoying on this show.
I don't listen to I don't tune it out, but I don't recall as much as what happens unless it's like what JR said with the protein. But at a few points, I did start hearing them kind of like babble at each other a lot. I was like, what's happening here? For this match, though, all of them were on their game.
Yeah, they were fucking, they loved this because everybody else loved it, and they were just killing each other. Danielson tries to take Kingston down with kicks and chops and stuff. He tries to get him in he tries to put him in the lapel lock at some points. My favorite thing is with Danielson is that he seems to be doing like anything is a finish with Danielson. Because that's how fucking dangerous he is. If he catches you with if he catches you with a submission, if he catches you with like any one of his strikes, like that could be it. And you never know. That's what makes him so dangerous. So
I assume you're getting to the end part.
So yeah, there is a part in this match where they were doing like a whole battle on the top rope.
God.
And
what the fuck?
Fucking, it seemed like at most points, like it was like either way. It wasn't until Bryan like got behind him and crotched him, and then hit an avalanche back superplex that was on the back of his head that looked fucking nasty as shit. There was this cool exchange. Where it was like they were going back and forth.
And then Eddie just out of nowhere with the sickest hurricane.
Danielson just like hits him with the rolling elbow, and then literally Kingston out of nowhere, hurricane, and just back fist shit.
And they go down, and the crowd is just losing it.
Literal standing ovation.
I'm losing it.
A standing ovation.
Like Danielson also like. Adding the rolling elbow all of a sudden into his gear, okay, because like I had never seen him do that before, at least not in the W. But like he hits it, and Eddie, instead of going down, he's like, "Nah, bitch, I'm gonna use this momentum, swing back around, backhand." Oh man, I could have seen this go on for 20 more minutes because at one point they even like Justin goes 10 minutes remaining, and I'm like, give it all, let them go half hour, let's do it. Sadly, that's not the case, but...
Yeah, because right after that exchange, Kingston tries to go after Danielson. So Danielson, though, locks him into the triangle choke, starts throwing in some elbows. Kingston, at one point, flips him off before he inevitably has to meet his maker. He passes out. Referee calls it, and Bryan Danielson wins the match.
What a fucking match.
We go to commercial, but after commercial, we were shown that Danielson tried to go for a handshake.
Kingston said nah.
Absolutely not. Left.
Fuck that. And then we go backstage. So yeah, great match. Fun, fucking amazing match. Bryan will now go on to fight. Why can't I remember who he's fighting?
He will go on to fight.
Oh my god. He's going to the finals.
Is he?
This was the semifinal.
Oh yeah, that's right. He will either face Moxley or
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy.
That's right. I was like, I thought we were at 16. No, it's only 8. So yeah, Bryan's moving on. I think that was a shoo-in. What a phenomenal match. I want this again, like 18 more times. So we'll see what happens when that happens. We go back. Tony's got Punk. Punk's all like, it's been a... What?
Well, so it's like Schiavone was about to ask him a question, and Punk
he does ask him about Boston, and he says it's great to be back in Boston.
Yeah, he gets a few words out, and then out.
But as this is like going on, you hear in the background Kingston being like, "Who the fuck? Who
the fuck told him to ring that bell?
I didn't tap out. What the fuck?" And you just see Schiavone and Punk are all kind of like, "The hell." And all you hear is, "What are you laughing at? I know you. What you?
I know you. Don't play with me. Don't play." And then Punk and him.
He needs to get like Ruby Soho shows up, and they're trying to take him out, and Punk is just like, "I'm disappointed. What the fuck, Eddie? What is this? What is this shit?
Like, do you want to go to sleep again?
Again? I just saw what happened to you. I'll do it again. I'm so disappointed." Kingston just being like, "I'm just a crazy madman speech."
So
this is like a minute, and it's one of the best minutes of AEW television this week.
It's so awesome. Punk
and Kingston? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember, when the Tony Khan thing got leaked, it said Punk and Wardlow, and I remember a lot of people were like, Punk and Wardlow? If we're getting Punk and Kingston at full year... Let them open the show and just go at it for like 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This is the kind of Punk match I've been waiting for. Is like, not the wrestlers and not the technicians and not the high flyers. I want to see Punk go in a fucking brawl.
And
I want ROH Punk back. I want shorts. I want Raven to show up.
No, he's gonna go back in he's gonna go with the Long Boys again.
No!
He's gonna go with the Long Boys.
No, he wore the Long Boys against Bobby. That means the next match has to be Trunks.
Well, he wore Long Boys against his match in Seidel and Bobby. So he might be.
He wears the Trunks for the big matches.
He might be sticking with Long Boys.
No! Bring back the bicycle shorts. Bring back the gym shorts. Bring back
the blonde hair.
Yeah, dye your hair blonde. Where's Julio De Niro? He's not doing anything. So, yeah, fuck it. I'm so excited. But then we get the third match in the trilogy of Dante Martin and Matt Sydal. It's a good match.
This was Dante's match. This was once again another Dante Martin showcase match.
But this was the real, because he gets the victory. He's on the big TV. This isn't an episode of Dark. He got a lot of good offense in here. Sydal made him work for this.
This is why you need a guy like Sydal on your roster because he's so fucking good. He's so good.
Yeah, no, I think, people thought Sydal getting signed was like, oh, it's just another guy, but it's like, not really, dude. This is like hey, we have this new guy coming in. Who's the perfect person to put him up against? Matt Sydal.
Someone on Twitter pointed out that ever since his botch, when he first debuted, Sydal has never attempted to go for the shooting star press.
He did against Punk.
He did?
He went to the top rope, but he was caught by Punk.
Well, he's tried to go for it, but he's never.
But he has not. But it's never done it since the botch. Yeah, and not only that, but he's really slowed down the extreme high flyiness.
Yeah.
Of his, he's way more technical based. He still does his, standing flippy moonsaults and all that. Which I still don't know how he just contorts himself that close before landing.
The Mariposa is what this shit's called. The standing...
Yeah, but, he does it. And, right before, the person's about to, hit the moonsault, he just goes, and then my body's the other way. Yep. And I'm like, how? How do you do that, Mr. Matt Sydal? How did the W not give you at least an IC title run?
Speaking of how somebody does anything, how does Dante do anything he does? Ever?
I don't know. I don't know.
He has the most insane vertical leap I have ever seen from any professional wrestler ever.
He counters out of the fucking lightning spiral at the end into
My
a cutter,
back
and I'm
flipping
like,
out of it!
I'm like, how do you do this?
The dude does a fucking...
And like I say, we say it all the time. Dude's what, 19, 20?
Yes!
Imagine him in 5 years.
The dude...
This dude, I mean, Hakeem said it on Twitter, and I'm kind of in favor to believe. In 10 years, this is the guy.
Dude, I don't know. At this rate, it might be less than 10.
For the world?
He's fucking really good now.
I know. But again, we still have Darius, like, when he gets back, whatever that's going to be, wherever this Leo Rush thing is going.
The dude did a fucking... I don't know what... He does, like, a pop-up head scissors, and then proceeds to give him the best standing double foot stomp I've ever seen in my life. Because he got up to Seidel's head! He leaped towards his head!
It's more impressive than Cameron's, and that's already impressive. Because Cameron
gets height on his. Let's not...
Yeah.
But this is a whole different level. Dante
this is like, if Dante wanted, he could just jump over his head.
He could have!
So, and, he gets the big victory off of the double springboard moonsault.
So they made the double moonsault his finish, which is the best choice. Excellent choice. Because
he'd been trying out that, like... What that stunner he'd been doing?
Yeah.
Which is nice when he hits it, but it's such you need to hit that so precise for it to look good. He does it in this match against Seidel, and he doesn't really get him all with it. So I'm glad that we're going to give him this moonsault instead.
Oh, you're talking about the front flip cutter that he does.
Yeah, it's not always that great looking.
No. But that seems to be the setup move now.
And then he hits the nice, cool double springboard moonsault, which, all of a sudden has become like a thing again in wrestling ever since that Billy Kidman clip was posted. Where's Billy Kidman? They let him go.
Yeah.
So he can show up. But there you go. This match was just really fun. Really, really fun.
So,
and now Rampage this week. Rico on Rampage. We're going to see Red Velvet take on the Bunny.
Well, I know you can't wait for that one.
I don't want to talk about it next week. Can we just not?
We have to. We gotta. We have to talk about it.
And then also, for first time, John Silver will take on Adam Cole, baby.
The Battle of Budge! Tony Khan said that himself on Twitter. It's all about the Budge come Rampage.
I'm done with this company. And of course, there's going to be another match. There's always 3 matches on these shows. We'll probably find out something on Dynamite. But now it is time for our main event of the evening. It is the Trick or Treat match, which the treat is that if Abaddon wins, she gets a title shot. The trick is that it's a no disqualification match.
I thought it was good.
Britt comes out first with her zombies. Rebel and Jamie Hayter are zombies.
Rebel was really committed on being this big zombie.
Rebel is always 100% committed, and Jamie's just kind of like, all
right, cool.
All right, cool. Blah. 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 So she does while they're coming to the ring, she does behind Britt like scare Rebel. I thought that was cute.
And
then Abaddon comes out, and Abaddon. Is this our first time talking about Abaddon?
I think it might be.
I think it might be, because I don't remember the last time she was on TV.
Yeah, they haven't been on TV for a bit. So, yeah, this might be our first time.
I think the last time she was on TV is when she had that really bad match with Sheeta.
Yeah.
With the biting, and that match was... But that was still during COVID, so I'll give them the pass on that. So... The crowd likes Abaddon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, I've seen people online give Abaddon crap about like how they wrestle, obviously. But it's like it's a zombie gimmick. What do you want? This is exactly what they need to be doing. Don't sell, beat the shit out of your opponent, slow movements.
My issue isn't the selling. It's the action.
It's the offense?
I don't feel it. For a gimmick like this, I feel like it needs to be more menacing and impactful, and I'm not feeling that. Like, the character gimmick and the character work is 100% down pat. Like, she gets that 100%. And the mannerisms and all that, and the spookiness, it's all really well done. But the wrestling portion...
You don't need wrestling! Alright, let me say, you didn't watch Kane for the wrestling, goddammit! Don't lie to yourself! Don't lie to yourself! When Undertaker came in, you didn't watch for the wrestling. When Yokozuna came in, you didn't watch for the fucking wrestling of it.
Yeah, but then Abaddon shouldn't be wrestling.
They don't wrestle. They no-sell, and then they do the blah, and then they hit hard.
Yeah, but how? Yeah, but like, I don't think she hits hard at all.
Wow.
I don't feel that the energy in it.
You weren't feeling the Uranagi through the tax?
No, again, look, that was great because Britt just knows how to do a hardcore match now. And like this was, I think, the perfect execution for Abaddon, put her in the match with an ODQ, and I thought this match was also fun for what it was. But I can't see Abaddon on a Taker level in AEW.
Well, you say that a lot of people didn't think that Kane was gonna work like an undead brother. Are you kidding me? But then they saw him.
This was a fine match.
Give it a few years.
Here's the thing, you say give it time, but like Abaddon's never on TV.
Yeah, I don't need to be obvious. And how this match ended, there's a chance that this might continue.
I don't know.
I thought this was okay. I'm not saying Abaddon's like the best ever or whatnot, but I appreciate the gimmick. They are obviously very committed to being the living dead girl character, and I think that is like for what, you know, is normally required for the gimmick.
There's a lot of fun in the match.
Like for the fact that Britt couldn't lock in the lockjaw for the fear.
I know, that I like because the fear of getting her hand bit. I liked that. That's good character work. But again, it's also because I think, you know, I don't think Abaddon has had the right opponent, and that's because she hasn't had a feud where she gets to really be.
How do you have a feud with a zombie?
But that's the point.
Abaddon needs to be a part of a stable, and they need to pick her up as their monster.
I think she and the House of Black would be great. I think that's another thing, too. I think she needs a direction. You know, Kane had a manager. Undertaker had a manager. I think Abaddon needs an extension so that there's that at least human element.
You know what?
I
agree with you on that front. I do agree with you on that front. I think if anyone on this roster that could benefit from a mouthpiece more, it'd probably be Abaddon.
What's James Mitchell up to?
I don't know.
You know, get him. That's the perfect person, obviously.
Last time I saw him, he was talking about his dead wife. No, his dead... Not his dead wife. It was his dead friend.
You mean Canyon?
Canyon. Who was talking about his dead wife? That was Gangrel. Get Gangrel! Fuck it! Get Gangrel in here! Vampires and zombies is awesome!
I think that's what Abaddon needs. I think she needs an extension outside of just, I'm a zombie girl, because then that's all you're going to deal with. She needs something more, and she needs a feud where she can be the focal point. In a match like this, the attention is on Britt. Because it's Britt. And then also this match gets hunkered down by that fucking table.
Yeah,
they did not want to fucking cooperate.
Unfortunate table spots.
And it kind of just like, I look back at when Alley Cat fought Penelope and that door didn't want to break. It takes you out of the match for a second. It's like, oh no. And then like when they keep trying to go back and break it and it's just not happening, it's like, stop. Please stop. I don't know. I liked it, and at the same time, I didn't. I would have opened the show with this.
Probably, yeah.
Especially because you look in the crowd, and like a lot of people were gone by this match.
I get what they do with the opening segment, though. Like they want to make the opening segment just as must-see as the main event.
I thought the best part of this match wasn't even in the match. It was like Mark Henry is like, "Hey, Abaddon, what do you have to say?" And all she does is, and then they cut to Britt and she talks, and they cut back, and Mark Henry's like, "Where'd Abaddon go?"
Abaddon's gone.
Abaddon's gone.
It would appear that Abaddon has disappeared.
And I was like, "That's funny. Give me more of that." I don't know. It's a gimmick that definitely needs a lot more work. Not the gimmick, but everything surrounding it. The presentation is great. She is good. But the wrestling needs some help on making it feel a bit more like what it should. And I think she needs a mouthpiece or someone else out there pushing it along. Like a caretaker or like some kind of like a controller. I need, like, because then why is like this random zombie just like kind of just hanging out? But yeah, that's enough on that. I think you're
putting way too much thought on zombies in professional wrestling.
Because there are none!
What the hell is the Great O'Khan then?
He's a bunny rabbit! Yeah, but the Great O'Khan isn't like bleeding from the mouth and like has like crazy contacts.
See, now you're just picking and choosing.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, that was Dynamite. That was Rampage. That was AW for the week.
This is Rampage.
We will see you next week when we talk about more AW. Dynamite from the AEW lands. But we're going to move on to the news now. And, I'm just going to condense this. I'll do the indie thing right now because we're going to have really just one real big topic to talk about here. There wasn't really much over the weekend because of the holiday season. There were 2 shows that did occur. Pro Wrestling Revolver did have its Tales from the Ring edition. Jimmy Jacobs and Jon Moxley was in your main event. I heard that match was really good. I got to go back and watch the show because I haven't seen all of it. The big takeaway from that show on that night is that we have new champions throughout the whole company because they vacated all the belts and we got new champions in their place. I think Rich Swann won the world title. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, Rich Swann won the world title, so he's your new world champion. And the new tag champions in the main event, not the main event of the evening, or was it the main event of the evening?
No, it was not the main event. The main event was Moxley and Jacobs.
Okay, yeah. So, the Wolves are the new Pro Wrestling Revolver tag
champions. The American Wolves, baby!
The big takeaway was, though, that Sami Callihan did show up unannounced.
In a wheelchair.
In a wheelchair, and him and Moxley made it very clear, we want them motherfucking tag belts, and we want to use once Sami is better. So that match is going to happen. We were supposed to get it. It didn't end up happening. Very sad, sad, sad boy. And then, the other big thing that occurred on Halloween night in Trenton, New Jersey, H2O presented Destiny as Atsushi Onita and Matt Tremont fought in an exploding ring match. An actual one, too. I've seen some of the GIFs, and, they really went balls to the wall with the explosions.
I saw the GIFs, and I was like, oh,
it was outside
Jesus.
in a baseball stadium. They went full-on FMW with it. It seemed like they had a really good turnout. It was a really nice night, too. It wasn't raining. It was not that cold. At Onita finally getting what he wanted to do, bringing the real death match to America. Tremont finally getting what he should have gotten from CZW, but the motherfuckers fucked him over. And, he's out of retirement. I don't know if this is a permanent or if he's going back into retirement afterwards. But go watch it if you want to see some people explode. It looked like a lot of fun this upcoming weekend, though, in the world of why can't I say words today?
I don't know.
In the world of independent professional wrestling, the only real show that I am like 100% on, of course, will be JCW. Will be returning this Sunday with its tour. What is it? I think is it Tournament of Survivals or Series of Survivals. It'll be their take on, of course, the Survivor Series, which I think I have tickets to. So Zahaya might have to be watching one of them. Some good teams announced for the show. Young, Dumb, and Broke. All of Young, Dumb, and Broke. Charles Manson will have his own team, including Caesar Bononi. So I can boo him live. That's great. Of course, the Tri-State Icons. There's an entire team of Jersey Championship Wrestling icons. Nasty Leroy will have his own team.
Oh my god.
That big nasty man teaming up with Josh Bishop, Billy Dixon, and Dilf Boy Deltano.
What?
Yes, Dilf Boy.
Dilf Boy.
Dilf Boy.
He's a dad?
No, he's younger than us.
That's fucked up.
Dilf Boy Deltano. And of course, my favorite. My favorite team.
Call yourself a Dilf and be under the age of 40.
Dilf Boy Deltano. I've seen him get really fucked up by Schlack before. It was really sick. And of course, my team of the whole night. Now, this isn't a tournament, I don't think. I think it's just traditional Survivor Series matches, and all the matches will get all the teams will just fight. I don't think there's a tournament aspect here. But my favorite team of the night, of course, Connor's Cuties. The team of Everett Connors, the returning Charlie Evans, Billy Starks, and the bad boy, Joey Janela. That's my team, 100%. Those are my dudes. So yeah, watch JCW this Sunday. It's free on YouTube, like all of them are. You don't gotta pay a damn thing. So why not enjoy yourself, watch some wrestling, 3 p.m. on YouTube. And of course, next week, the Nick Gage Invitational returns to GCW as they will be invading Detroit, Michigan on the 13th and the 12th.
B-Town.
Some things that just got announced. Leon Ruff will be making his debut.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Matt Cardona is going to fight Alex Shelley. That's fucking awesome.
Motor City Machine Guns represent, baby!
And a few other things that were announced for December. I know we're jumping ahead, but it'll go into what we're going to be talking about in a few minutes. 2 former ROH competitors, including the current world champion Bandito and Brody King, in December will be returning to GCW. And also Jigsaw's coming back.
Oh my god.
I'm very excited for Jigsaw.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So there's a few things to look forward to. Again, there's not a lot going on in the next few weeks. Everybody's kind of just taking a little bit of time off. But November looks like, and especially December, look like they're going to be hot and heavy with action in the independent scene. That's all I got, because, again, we're really just going to... I don't know if there's anything... Speedball and Mike Bailey got signed to Impact.
Damn it, dude! I was gonna... fuck you!
Oh. Well, that happens.
Literally, yeah, Mike Bailey's back in the States.
In the States!
And for those who don't realize how big of a deal this is, Mike Bailey was one of the most talked about dudes coming out of PWG during it was the 2014 era. It's what happened to the Smash Bros. Yeah.
It was I believe he had WWE tryouts, and all of that kind of got fucked over because of his work visa. Mm-hmm. And he was pretty much banned from coming to the States for
5 years.
That's the normal, visa deal, because it happened to the Smash Brothers. And then obviously, COVID probably hit as well, so that probably set him back a little bit. But over the weekend, he signed a contract on the back of Josh Alexander, and he's coming to Impact, which is great. Impact really needed something newsworthy after last week.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a splash this is gonna make, but it's a big deal to those who know.
I'm just very glad that I get to see Mike Bailey wrestle again.
There's a lot of great talent and Impact for him to work with. Him and Trey Miguel.
Him in the X division.
Kid. Yeah.
Sounds ridiculous.
So hopefully this is the first of a few more signings for Impact post Bound for Glory to help make that roster big. Of course, as we mentioned, Masha got signed, but she wasn't at the tapings. But, and of course we still don't know about Braun Strowman or Bronson, or what is he now? Is he just Jonah?
I don't fucking know what his goddamn name is.
But yeah, so there's that. So that's Impact news. Not a lot of other big Impact news this week. NWA, I don't think did anything that needs to be mentioned. The W sucked. But there's only really the two biggest things to talk about. One is sort of WWE related news, is this whole Greg Hamilton thing.
Oh, are we talking about that? Because I don't know.
We'll just make it really quick here. So he gets into this spat with West Side Gun on Twitter. No, not Twitter. Instagram. Apparently he sampled him in one of his songs. West Side Gun, who's apparently a huge wrestling fan, was also in the front row of the Arthur Ashe show at AEW. Sampled him. Greg was like, no, fuck that shit. I'm going to sick the WWE lawyers at you. All of a sudden, Greg Hamilton's been released. And the theories blew up. Greg saying that it was mutual that we broke off. People saying, well, maybe you shouldn't have mentioned WWE in your comments publicly like that. And then this crazy other idea or story, which I haven't really been able to find much emphasis on, but a lot of people talked about it, of this domestic abuse with his wife.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I didn't get the full scope on what that was about.
Yeah. So that happened on Raw today, as of we're recording this. Greg Hamilton was still there in spirit.
What?
They did not have a ring announcer. They just used previous...
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. They just used previous recorded Greg Hamilton voice.
I mean, fine, whatever, sure. He's done.
They just let him go. They have to find someone new, probably.
They trained 18,000 people there. They don't got one announcer on the ready.
Who?
NXT. NXT has an announcer, doesn't it?
And then who takes her spot?
What? She can't switch?
You're gonna give one person all of this?
I'm just saying, a week or two. She can't just do both jobs for a little bit, get that extra pay.
That's what happens when you don't have one for Raw and SmackDown. You have one for the whole company. So yeah, Greg Hamilton. He was fine. I didn't hate him.
I didn't give a shit about Greg Hamilton.
He said Kevin Owens funny.
He's a fucking ghost.
Ooh.
Well, he basically is now.
Yeah, now he is. So, new ring announcer for the W soon-ish, maybe. Who knows who it'll be?
Might get a fucking Greg Hamilton robot at this point.
But I don't really, unless you have something else, I don't think there's any other news to talk about besides...
I guess we gotta just kind of
the biggest news of last week.
The biggest news
on
Yeah.
Thursday or Wednesday?
Well,
no, it was Wednesday.
Okay, so to really just set the stage, like, so nobody actually saw this coming, like, because it's like, we weren't really expecting it, but yeah.
What do you think about it?
No, it's just like, so it has to be said, because we got to talk about for the fact that John Moxley's autobiography was also released this week. Yeah. Also, I just wanted to bring that up real quick because I know exactly what we're talking about. I just wanted to mention this because I thought some of the shit, I read some of the shit that he posted, that was posted on Twitter. It's some of the funniest thing that you will ever just read from a wrestler. Just the way that he describes shit. Like, he called fucking Kevin Dunn a fucking cunt bag.
Yeah.
That was funny. Just some really interesting stuff. Like, he goes in about his time in WWE, like the Shield. He really had high. He was really high on talking about his time in the Shield and how much it meant to him. Goes on to say just how fucking crazy it is trying to work with people who don't want to work with you, and how he felt like Vince was just losing his mind each and every week. There's like a lot of fun stuff you could read. So if you want,
his book isn't like chapters. It's like each, like I guess the chapter is more or less like a person or a situation.
Yeah,
because like Brody has his own chapter. I think his whole shtick with Mick Foley has its own chapter. Of course, his last time in the WWE, I think, is an entire thing. I did read the Kevin Dunn part. That was really funny because fuck Kevin Dunn.
So
I read the Brody page because everybody was showing that Brody page. So yeah, so go read his book. It seems like it's a shoot in book form.
Yeah, the book comes out Tuesday, November 2nd. So
by the time this is out, you can go get it.
You can go get it. So do yourself a favor.
Now,
let's fucking talk about it.
So Wednesday afternoon, about 4 or 5 o'clock. Dynamite hasn't even happened yet.
So I was just on Twitter. I had just woken up, and literally the first thing I see on my feed is from Dave Meltzer, and he just tweets out, "Everyone from Ring of Honor has been released from their contracts." And I
found out from Discord.
At first, I thought, okay, I'm not even fully awake yet. I must have read that wrong. So I was like, okay, hold on. Let me wake up real quick. Took like 3 minutes. Looked at it again. And yeah, that's what it said. And I was like, what the fuck?
The time I found out that tweet had happened to her. And so when I went on to Twitter, it was a hellstorm. Because I had heard about it through Discord. Like, one of the Discord channels posted, like, hey, what the fuck just happened with ROH?
Yeah.
And so I click on it, and it brought me to the statement tweet. And then from there, I was like, okay, I gotta go scroll back and find some stuff. And all it was like, Dave Meltzer, ROH, everybody's been released. Sean Ross Sapp, everybody's been released and their contracts are not getting renewed, but everybody's still going to get paid. And then people being like, ROH is dead, and Sinclair canceled the show. And I'm like, what the fuck? So you wait a little bit, you learned more.
So, alright. So,
I mean,
the Meltzer tweet came out, and then shortly after, Ring of Honor came out with a report. And it pretty much says, throughout the pandemic, our top priority was to keep everyone healthy and safe. And despite not producing any live events over 18 months, we were able to keep everyone fully contracted. We now find ourselves at a time where we need to make changes to our business operations and are planning a pivot for Ring of Honor with a new mission and strategy. The year will culminate with Final Battle in December, and we will be taking the first quarter of 2022 to work internally to reimagine ROH. ROH has the most dedicated fans in the industry, and we appreciate their loyalty and patience as we reconceptualize Ring of Honor. We anticipate returning to live events in April for the Supercard of Honor with a new fan-focused product and provide a unique experience for wrestling fans.
Okay, so let's break this down real quick.
Mm-hmm.
First off, is the wrestlers who, again, all of the I guess not really condolences, but like all of the love going out to all of the immense amount of talent that ROH has. They're all going to be, and not just the wrestlers, behind the scenes crew, the commentators, literally the whole company. This ain't just wrestlers we're talking about. These are a bunch of people who aren't going to have any work for like 4 months come. Now, the good thing is ROH made it clear.
Yeah, everybody's getting paid.
Everyone's getting paid. So because I'm just going to bring it up now and I'm not going to bring it up again. To everybody out there who was all like, how can WWE? Because those motherfuckers didn't pay anybody and they didn't do anything. And it wasn't about what happened. ROH was like, we care about our wrestlers. And because of that, we ended up having no money.
Yeah, let's also make this perfectly clear. This was not a Ring of Honor decision.
This was also Sinclair. Joe Koff did his damnedest to make sure this didn't happen. And Sinclair were like, we're not making any money because you spent it all on making sure that the wrestlers were okay. Which, honestly, if ROH is about to die because they did what they thought was the benefit for the wrestlers not getting fucked up and sick in this awful time, it sucks that you're gone, but at least you didn't go out badly. You went out on a fucking high note because you made sure everybody was okay. And Sinclair had been pissing away. I mean, they could have made money fucking years ago if Sinclair didn't treat this company like a goddamn fucking side project. Making the episodes like debut at like 10 a.m. or whatever the fuck it was on a Sunday on a channel that only like half the country has.
It never felt like there was any attempt to make Ring of Honor more than what Ring of Honor is.
Well, just look at, it's crazy that the HD Net era of Ring of Honor treated Ring of Honor better. And people hated HD Net. So, you get that part out of the way. So now all these wrestlers and everybody else ain't going to have a job for a few months. But they're all going to get paid, so cool. So all those fucking WWE people are all like, it's the same thing, how can't you can't pick sides. It's like, well, no, it's not. Because they're going to get paid. And this wasn't a spiteful situation. This was, we can't do anything. WWE has all the fucking money in the goddamn world. They didn't have to let everybody go. Especially at the height of the pandemic. At least now, it's still happening, but at least it's slowing down. And the work is available again. But this kind of, and you go back to when we first heard about Final Battle not having any fans. You go back to the Briscoes showing up for GCW. For GCW. They were starting to feel like inklings of what's going on here? Is ROH finally joining everybody else in the everybody work together? That's what we thought. In hindsight, it wasn't as fruitful as we were hoping. Because now the company is there's two sides of the coin here. It's either, they're going to come back, or this is just them saying we're done without blatantly saying we're done. Because do you even think we get to the Supercard show? They made it very clear that even when we come back, we are no longer signing wrestlers. They are going to be once again a straight up independent fed that just so happens to have TV time. Because all the wrestlers are going to be paid per appearance. I don't know how you run a company like that with the money that ROH has. This isn't GCW. Do you think it happens? Do you think ROH comes back? And if it does, who comes back? Because by April, I've said this. I say by April, 75% of the main ROH roster are gone. There's no way somebody like a Bandito or Brody King or Gresham or Danhausen just don't wrestle until ROH returns.
Well, I think that it's very clear that because I believe that some of them are still, they have a few wrestlers that are still signed to multi-year contracts. So it's
but they said everybody, those contracts are done come March.
Well, the people who aren't that aren't signed, their contracts are coming up by the end of this year. Once the end of the year is over, they're done.
But when you say we released everybody, that means you're released.
Well, technically, on a technical standpoint, yes, everybody is released.
which means all of those people could get signed.
They could get signed. However, it's like, but it's like not everyone is released, like not officially, like in technicality, we have no idea what's going to happen. They have an idea of what they want to happen.
They've said that everybody is open to doing whatever they want, come the time that it happens. And if people want to get out of their contract, I guess the long-term ones, and sign with somebody else, they're open to that negotiation. I just feel like if, say, AEW comes to one of these guys with a contract, one, that shit's going to be sizable compared to the ROH contract.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How does ROH is going to have no choice but to be the nice guys and be like, okay.
Yeah.
There's no, like I said, there's no way a Danhausen isn't signed with AEW before the Supercard thing happens. He was just on the Jericho Cruise. He has so many friends in that company, and that's a big get for them because it's Danhausen. People love Danhausen. That was a big get for ROH, which is to have Danhausen. You would tell me somebody like Brody King, I keep thinking Brody Lee, somebody like Brody King, now with Malachi in AEW, doesn't end up getting a tryout over there? You think somebody like Jay Lethal? I mean, I guess Jay could probably be one of the...
AEW, but like literally anywhere.
Yeah, Impact. I mean, Gresham could just go with his fucking wife.
Yeah.
And go to Impact and help them out. And I think Gresham would be a huge help with Impact right now with booking. And like getting an idea of what this company could be.
Weird.
Somebody like Alex Zane could finally now just say, all right, I'm going to go sign with Impact. Like Bandito. I don't...
The only way, like, with Ring of Honor, like, this whole thing working out is, like, a miracle. Like, some sort of miracle that they get everything fucking worked out by that time. And even then, it's not... Nothing is guaranteed. Like, let's be straight up. Like, right now, the Ring of Honor that we see right now and the Ring of Honor determining, like, if that
it'll be a whole different Ring of Honor.
It's a whole different thing. Like, the Ring of Honor that we've come to know throughout
it's gone. It's over.
Done.
Yeah, it's gone.
Like, the way
it had its last leg. It'll have final battle. Weirdly, is going to be the final battle.
That is the swan song of Ring of Honor as we know it. Whatever comes next is like it's completely foreign. Is new.
I don't see somebody like Bandito not getting signed by someplace. I even see the W going after Bandito.
Let us be perfectly clear. As soon as like these people get released from contracts, it's just like they're gonna be looking for work elsewhere. They're not gonna be waiting for Ring of Honor. I know some of them might be loyal and very
like I can see like Rhett Titus and the Briscoes and Jay Lethal. Like I can easily see them being like, okay, we're gonna come back and help out our company.
Right.
But then again, at that same time, they're not going to have contracts when they do so. So at any point, if, AEW comes knocking on the Briscoes' door and being like, hey, we have this contract with all this money, do you want to keep doing these potshot ROH shows where, there could be a huge gap between the Supercard show and the next show after that? Or we'll sign you to the AEW and you can still do all your independent stuff.
And I think a big reason why they remained so loyal and they were signed to Ring of Honor for so long is because they always figured like their shit was guaranteed. But now, there's no such thing anymore. Like,
there is no guarantee.
That's out the window.
Your guarantee is up. Your guarantee is up in March. When March hits and your final paycheck is there, that's it.
So it's like
This is almost like, and you look at the statement. What does it remind you of? Eric Bischoff and the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're going to take all these months off and we'll come back. And look what happened. WCW got bought and everybody left. You can't, I don't know how you take the chance of being like, hey, we're going to definitely come back with this giant Supercard show during WrestleMania weekend of all things.
Especially now when there's already rumors of the fucking AEW, the Ring of Honor fucking videotape library already trying to be sold.
Well, also, I didn't mention it, but it's Andrew Zaharian has been stated today that it looks like this rumored AEW Clash of Champions Battle of the Belt show is slated for January 8th. Like, who knows what that can entitle? Could we see like the ROH? Like, are the champions all going to get? Are they all going to get relinquished, or like? There's so much here. And honestly, for me personally, because you know how much of a fan of I am, I feel awful for the fucking women's division again.
You gotta, especially for Roxy.
Especially for Roxy. Like, this girl is so young in her career, and ROH was like, we believe in you, here's this women's title. And now in like 2 months, we might have to be taking that away from her. And like, this is the second time. COVID killed the first time they've tried to do this. And now it's just dead again. And all those women, there's an incredibly amount of talented girls on there. They're all going to definitely find work somewhere else. Most of them work other places already.
Yeah.
You know, Maria, I could see AEW picking her up for a backstage deal. You want to talk about somebody who can help out the AEW women's division backstage a little bit within the producing side of things. Maria is 100% a great person to have. And if that happens, do you end up losing Mike Bennett? Like, they already lost PCO before all of this, so that was a big loss. Like, I just can't, like, and then you think of people like, where does EC3 go from here?
Yeah, because
does he go back to Impact again? I guess. If Braun is going to show up.
Yeah.
So that's another big person you're probably going to lose. Most of the AAA talent are just going to go back to doing AAA and independent stuff.
It's just this thing where it's like it just doesn't really help anyone, because now with Ring of Honor, it's like with it you had like 4 places, like 4 sort of like big places where people could go: WWE, AEW, Impact, or Ring of Honor. And now with this is like gone. This is a very big chunk of the wrestling community that's gone. And
well, I think what this does even more is it now there's that opening. And I've said it before, but I think GCW takes that.
I think GCW is the number 4 spot by just default at this point.
I don't know when it'll happen, but I will say it, by the end of next year, they somehow get a TV deal. Especially if ROH is gone. Because GCW completely just takes that ROH position of like, here's the big hot indie fed that's mainstream enough to have like a TV deal audience. And a lot of those guys will go there. Yeah, so I'm not optimistic about this Supercard show. And even if it does happen, I'm just trying to think of what the card could look like, especially because you're doing it during WrestleMania weekend. How many of those guys are going to be booked elsewhere? What does this card look like? Besides, like, a bunch of jabrones. You know, I feel bad for somebody like Shane Taylor, who was on a fucking roll. That gets stopped. That trios, you know, people have said, though, maybe if the belts do end up getting taken or some form of whatever happens, maybe our AEW buys out those tag belts. That's how we get the trios belts or something. I don't know. I really don't know. Because that's one of the few things they haven't really talked about or anybody has discussed is what happens now with the champions. Once Final Battle is done, is it immediately they get relinquished? Or
I think they have to relinquish them. There's no guarantee.
Do you think ROH says, well, now from now until our big super show, go out there and keep ROH still in minds and defend the belts?
Again, we're talking about a possibility. Like, nothing's guaranteed. So I don't even think I would take the chance. Like, if this whole thing is supposed to be reimagined, like, I feel like the whole thing has to be reimagined. So I think belts, everything has to, like, they got to be put on the back burner. Because with all this uncertainty, you can't really be promoting yourself like you're still going to be around. Because nobody knows. Nobody knows what the case is going to be. And that includes us. But
it's the future is extremely bleak.
Yeah.
For ROH. Because then you look at, like, ROH was also, like you said, doing something for people. Like, I remember when it happened, so many people were adding, like, Dickinson and Homicide. And they had to be like, hey, guys, listen, we're not signed. They just gave us the platform to do more stuff. And you lose that now.
It's not only what they've been doing, for those guys recently, but what they've been doing for professional wrestling ever since they fucking started. Look at the landscape of professional wrestling right now, at this very moment.
All of those people, some form, went through ROH.
Went through Ring of Honor.
Danielson, Kingston,
Young Bucks,
AJ, the Bucks,
Omega,
Cole, Hangman. I don't think Moxley was.
No, Moxley was not.
Cesaro,
Seth Rollins,
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. I mean, the list goes on and on. And you think about all the other people they've had go through there. You've had the Hardys and Mick Foley and Bruno Sammartino and all of Mitsuharu Musawa and Kenta Kobashi, Punk, Raven. Like, this is a who's who of modern day professional wrestling. And without ROH, Samoa Joe. Like, I can keep naming names.
And you also have to take into consideration that without Ring of Honor, quite possibly, more than likely, AEW doesn't get made.
Well, no, yeah, because without them helping to fund All Out,
without that All-In show, there is...
Tony Khan doesn't get the idea.
Yeah.
And all of that is thanks to ROH helping to fund it, which has really been the biggest part of the video library. Is obviously you got to think AEW wants it because they want that all-in footage finally.
Yeah.
But then you look at the W and how many wrestlers we just named, they would have so much footage of. So the video library, I think, is going to be the biggest contender here, because whoever buys that library is going to end up buying the ROH legacy. And possibly the company as a whole, unless it just goes under. Because it always comes down to these video libraries. Because it's the most expensive part of what you're gaining. You're gaining the whole history of a company. And if AEW is really serious within the next few months before the year's up, not this year, next year's up, to have to have their own streaming service. Imagine having a streaming service where here's AEW, and also here's all of ROH. That's a big deal.
But
I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens. I just wish the best of luck to all of the wrestlers, especially all of the behind-the-scenes staff, because, it ain't as easy as getting a wrestling gig. Like, those guys have to now and girls have to find legitimate jobs again within the industry that they're part of. All of the producers and all the camera people and all of them, the writers and the commentators, and Ian Riccaboni made it extremely, and I think everybody really should be looking at him, because he's fantastic. He is, like, really, really good at his job. And I think AEW should get him as, like, a permanent, like, dark or elevation guy, because I think that'd be awesome. But he said it blatantly on his Twitter, if ROH isn't back, I'm done. And that sucks.
Yeah.
That some of these people are going to be like, if there's no ROH, I don't want to be a part of it anymore. That's how much ROH meant and did for these people. Somebody like Brian Zane, fellow YouTuber, and I feel like you were part of the community with it. you don't see that very often where these YouTube personalities are now part of a big wrestling company, and they gave him all the fucking publicity.
Yeah.
So, like, ROH was still giving a shit about what it did. It just, because of Sinclair, it just never really got to have that big, hey, everybody, here's ROH. I think the real dagger was the Elite leaving and the MSG show just shit in the bed. Like, the writing has been on the wall. I just didn't think it was going to be this. I would have thought they would have got bought out, or they would have just closed up shop, but instead it's like, no, we're going to release everybody, but then we're going to come back in April and hope we have a roster. I don't know about that.
I saw a couple of people on Twitter going like, I don't know why people are making such a big deal out of this. I mean, they obviously stated that they plan on coming back. And it's like, that's not the point. The point of the matter is that the Ring of Honor that we all know and that we've all watched grow into what it is, it's done. It's done and it's gone. Like that part of Ring of Honor is pretty much done and gone. Whatever comes out of this is not going to be the Ring of Honor that we've been watching for years and years. This is not the Ring of Honor that has helped produced the best wrestling in North America in years. Well, while fucking WWE is like trying to focus more on character work in like the early and mid 2000s and Impact Wrestling, while still, giving a bit of coverage to, indie wrestlers, is still trying to, be, trying to match up to WWE as terms of star power. Ring of Honor during that time was like, you know what? We're just going to give you the best wrestling you can get in North America. And that's exactly what they did. They promoted the best wrestlers in North America on their shit. Like, the best wrestling happens in Ring of Honor. And that's where you got guys like Danielson and Roderick and Cole, Generico, Steen, their feud going at it in Ring of Honor. Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, the Wolves, all of that. The Kings of Wrestling, the Briscoes.
Yeah, it's a who's who of there's again, even in the same vein of like Impact, but Impact is a cockroach and they'll never die. While in the past few years ROH might not have been as crazy good as it once was, it was still an extremely important part of wrestling, even in the modern day, because it was that gateway for so many of these guys to end up in bigger companies. Everybody we named started in Ring of Honor because that was the company that gave them the focal point. Hey, here's this company. We're going to make you a big deal, and we're going to showcase you. And if it wasn't for that, WWE doesn't look at a CM Punk or a Daniel Bryan. Or Impact doesn't look at an AJ Styles or Samoa Joe or, Daniels. What company now do we have that does that, except, like I said, for GCW? But again, GCW doesn't have weekly TV, and it's not on a big enough platform yet.
Right.
But it's getting there, because think of, like we've said, all the people from GCW and the Indies that are now, like, on AEW, the Dante Martins and Joey and, even Ricky Shane Page has been recently.
Are, like, just coming into GCW right now. Like, big names want to work
for GCW.
Yeah,
and this is what
GCW.
And this is what ROH felt like in the past when Kobashi wanted to go there, and Misawa, and the Hardys, and, who else am I forgetting? Christian showed up there. Like, it was because this is the place to be. And it's sad that ROH has to now, like, pretty much, I think it's dead. And it's really sad because now we've lost that fourth company.
Yep.
We have GCW, but it doesn't have the money that ROH had. So the gap is now there. And all these guys have to find something to do. And there's a giant hole right now in wrestling without an ROH in it. So best of luck to everybody. And best of luck to ROH. You know, I hope that when WrestleMania time comes around, they are somehow able to put on an amazing card. And who knows, maybe that card could possibly be the farewell card. But if that is the case, ROH had an amazing run. A legendary run. And it'll never be forgotten.
There's a lot of people who harp on American professional wrestling and how fucking gimmicky and stupid it can be. But I honestly believe for a good majority throughout its run, Ring of Honor did its fucking damnedest to spotlight the very, very best of what professional wrestling could be at the time. And I think that without Ring of Honor, the stuff that we see on TV today, AEW, or the way how AEW is, that just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Because Ring of Honor showed you that there is more than just the Fed. There is actual great professional wrestling with great talent that get over, you know, in spite of what other people might think. And I think that is the biggest part of Ring of Honor's legacy, is that showing that American professional wrestling on any given fucking day can be the best fucking thing in the world.
You know, think of all the spotlights it gave to other companies. You know, how many people found out what New Japan was because of the ROH deal? The CZW war, legendary shit. So ROH helped that.
I found out about Shinsuke Nakamura because of his match with Kevin Steen back at the War of the Worlds show.
Nakamura, another name. They're like, it just...
And if I didn't get into Nakamura, and if I didn't find Nakamura, I don't find New Japan. That's just how it is.
So, you know, it's gonna suck if this is it. And you know, we got a few weeks more with them. You know, their Final Battle will be their last show in December. I don't remember what the date is. And then after that, who knows? Who knows?
Pretty much lights out.
But once again, like everyone has said, next year,
December 11th.
December 11th? All right, well, there you go. It's like you got about 2 months. You know, 2022 is about to be a very, very interesting year for wrestling.
I guess we'll just end it off by saying, thanks for the memories, Ring of Honor.
Thank you, Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
But now, we move on to... All right, we talked. We were here for like 45 minutes talking about ROH, so we won't.
I don't even mind.
We're not gonna chew your ear off with the Dark Side segment because I know Zahaya was not a big fan of our season finale.
It's just after everything, like XPW, FMW, this is what we end off with.
So season 3 of Dark Side of the Ring this past week ended with the Steroid Trial, the last episode of season 3. I do believe season 4 was already confirmed before season 3 started. I think that was confirmed.
I think so.
So next year we'll find out what new stories they have to tell. I don't know what.
Hopefully they're more exciting than this garbage.
So it's the Steroid Trial, the big Steroid Trial, the finale of the season was the Vince McMahon Steroid Trial in the 90s. And if you like stories that involve a lot of legal jargon and court case battles and like lawyer fights and like how to work around the American government, this is the episode for you, 100%, because it is very smart and it is very thought provoking, and like it's well discussed. And Jerry McDivitt is a crazy son of a bitch that I never ever want to have to stand across in a courtroom, because that motherfucker just knows how to win.
Yeah.
But Sahaya, here, on the other hand, did not see the appeal in this being the finale.
I just, like... Oh, Vince is a scumbag, and he surrounds himself with scumbag, legal personnel. Like, alright, great. Tell me something I wouldn't fucking know. Like, anything you told me is like, oh, like, Vince did this, Vince did that. It's like, oh, can you believe it? And I'd be like, yes! Yes, I can believe it.
And to break it down, so in the 90s, there was a bill passed that was confirming that antibiotic steroids, were illegal because they were considered drug use. And Vince realizes, and a bunch of the others probably realize, uh-oh. So it all stems back to a doctor that was the doctor to the wrestlers, Andrew Zahorian. And he loved wrestlers more than anything in the world, and for that reason, he made sure that they all had the best drugs. God, I wish I had a dealer like that. They had all the best drugs, and they had all the steroids they needed, and all this and that, and if they needed, call them up. But the thing was, it kind of wasn't a very legal binding practice that he was doing, because they were considered illegal.
No kidding.
So this all gets brought up to Vince eventually, being like, uh-oh, we might be in a bit of a pickle. Lo and behold, they were in a bit of a pickle, because the U.S. government had subpoenaed and sued the WWE for drug use with steroids within the wrestlers.
Which they totally
shit
did.
ton of them.
Yeah,
which they totally did. And here, that's a spoiler for all this. The spoiler to this whole episode is they got away with it.
Yeah.
That's the spoiler, is they get away with it.
All
because
all
thanks to Jerry McDivitt and his
it's all thanks to McDivitt and fucking Hogan.
Fucking Hulk Hogan. What a surprise.
Ah!
So, the steroid thing happens. Vince makes it very clear to the locker room, "Hey guys, we gotta stop, because they're gonna start noticing." And one of the biggest noticeable parts of all this was Hulk Hogan went from being giant Hulk Hogan to skinny man Hulk Hogan, and Vince goes, "Nope, can't deal with that anymore. So I'm just gonna let him go." And as the story goes, Hogan goes to WCW. And that's about it for Hogan right now in the episode, until literally like the last 2 minutes of the episode. Because Hogan's gone. So now what we're dealing with here is, on the episode, I think the only wrestlers that talked were Warlord and Brian B. Blair.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fucking lower mid-carders.
Well, Bulldog is dead. Hogan's not going to do it.
Obviously.
Mach is dead.
Yeah.
Piper was one of the people that was summoned.
And
he's dead. I don't remember who. There was a few other people that were involved in like the initial "hey, come on in" type deal. I don't remember who they were, but either they're dead or they probably just declined. So the only people we got were Brian B. Blair and Warlord. They're literally only here to talk about their experience as the wrestlers doing with all this. People coming to their doors and all this jazz, yada, yada, yada. So there are some cool stories in here. There's of course, one of the biggest contributors of this episode is essentially the whistleblower to all of this. Infamous, hated man in wrestling, Phil Mushnick. The man who, like I said, pretty much whistleblew the whole fucking thing by making the article about Vince McMahon and his horrible use of steroids.
He's the one.
This is a man.
This is the fucking dude that got the mob called on him, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah.
That story was great. And where the two guys came to his house.
And Jerry's all like, "What the mob? Nah,
oh, the mob? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?"
And fucking Mushnick just like laughed it off, and these guys just like dipped because they were like bad. What is the trend this season of just like awful henchmen? These motherfuckers can't do a goddamn thing. So that's that story. So yeah, Phil Mushnick, one of the biggest, if not the biggest wrestling villain ever, because if it wasn't for him,
Meltzer was
this
there.
probably never would have happened. Meltzer's there.
This is pretty much
and
saying,
also,
like, I was there for this.
What the hell was it? John Arezzi is also here as well.
Yeah.
And they're brought in as like the journalists because they're going to be the ones that are going to get like the press coming after them. You know, they bring up that Phil Donahue show, which I thought was really funny, where Vince talked about. The question was, were you sad when you found out that Hogan did steroids? Vince tried to like say that's not true. I didn't cry. And Dave Meltzer just on TV is like,
yeah, you did.
That's not. Yeah, you did. You told me.
You fucking told me that shit. Don't be a fucking liar.
The fucking footage they had of that show after that happened, and Vince's face. Like, Vince could have killed Dave Meltzer on TV.
He was literally contemplating murder in that.
He was like,
second.
I'm going to kill this. I'm going to give him a 5-star kill, and that's not. John Arezzi's there to kind of back that up, being like, that's not what you told me either. So all of like the journalists are like ganging up, being like, this man's a liar. He's a phony.
Yeah, a lot of liars. Like when Hogan went on Arsenio, he's like, oh, I only took steroids. Like,
yes, the infamous Arsenio.
To heal my
interview.
But
so
other than that, I said my prayers and I took my vitamins.
The same night that happened, Vince McMahon hosted like a press conference, pretty much stating none of my wrestlers do steroids. And that same night, Hulk Hogan is scheduled to be on Arsenio Hall. And before we get into what Makes mentioned, I did think it was really funny that the producers asked Jerry if he had any talk with Hogan before, and Jerry's like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you, though. I ain't telling you that. Sorry. Which clearly means they talked about something.
Yeah.
And John Arezzi makes it very clear, and it's true. Hogan was in kind of a lose-lose scenario, because either he's going to go out there and say he does do steroids, and that just blows up the whole fucking pot, or he's going to go out there and he's going to try and blatantly lie to the American audience and people that he doesn't do steroids. And his way around it is, well, in 83, I had a back problem, so I took some steroids. But that's about it. Okay, Hogan. And lo and behold, the American public are all like, no, fuck that shit. There's no way he don't do steroids. So it ends up blowing up in their face anyway. Shortly after this, Hogan's gone, the steroid thing becomes adamant. Dr. Zahorian is arrested. More on him in a bit.
Mainly because he sold steroids to kids.
Yeah, they ended up catching him not off of this, but because he was selling steroids to children, and that was their way of getting him. And then, obviously, happening what happens there. Not a great guy. And so now we're like, this is it. Jerry's got his shit ready, and the government, or I forget who it was that was like going up against them in the court. I forget what her name was. So there's that, and now it's time to go. It's time for the court case. There was nothing else we can do. We have to go to court.
This is the biggest court case I've ever seen in my fucking life.
It all starts off with Vince McMahon showing up in a neck brace.
It's already a TV show.
Infamous Vince McMahon neck brace. Jerry McDivitt makes it extremely clear.
He had a neck surgery. He had a neck surgery before coming to court. So of course he had a neck brace. So bullshit.
It's eventually like the story he tells at the end after they won, and he tells Vince, "Oh, you can stop it," and he takes it off. And you see for like a quick second, he has to be like, "Well, he won. He did have that surgery. Though. I just want to make that clear. He did have that surgery. I swear he did. He did have it. It's like you just slipped up. You slipped up, you motherfucker.
Sack of shit.
Oh shit. So court day, and a lot of shit goes down here. One of the bigger stories that really does not help the defense here, or not the defense, the prosecution. Is that the ones who are fighting Vince?
Yes.
Yes. It doesn't help them when it turns out one of their prime, why am I bad at this? One of their prime, the people who get called up to the booth. Help me.
Witness?
Yeah, one of their prime witnesses. Turns out, motherfucker's husband had been talking to the fucking reporters, lying as a reporter themselves for 60 minutes, completely fucking up the case. You can't do that. You cannot tamper with shit in a court case. You could go to jail. So that completely fucks them over. So they're all out of luck now because this idiot decided to get all the answers and then tell his wife the answers so that when she went up to the goddamn stand, she knew all the answers already. And Dave Meltzer's like, this motherfucker predict the future. How'd that happen? And then he's like, oh, because her fucking husband was talking to me. So that was already the first big blow up for them on that side of things. The second big blow up comes with Zahorian. Zahorian, who, before being arrested, had admitted to Jerry McDivitt that he had never sold the steroids, or he had never had a conversation with Vince McMahon about selling steroids. And he was very adamant on that. Yet he gets arrested, and, of course, the American justice system are fucked up, and they want to get their way, they're going to get it. Put this poor guy through hell for 44 days, throwing him into different goddamn high maximum security prisons and keeping him locked away in solitary confinement, all because he sold a steroid. They fucked with this guy so bad that the day he has to get brought up to the witness stand, he doesn't even know what fucking day it is in his own life, is dragged out into the spotlight, thrown on a desk, and said, "Did you talk to Vince?" And this poor guy, nervous as all fucking hell, says, "Yeah, I did." How is that fair? How is that fair? And then as soon as he said that, they picked his ass up and threw him back into prison. What the fuck?
My favorite part of this is where they had fucking nails as a part of the testimony.
Oh my god, the nails thing. That's the third one. They're getting nails up, and they're like, "So do you have any animosity towards Vince?"
And this fucking is like,
he says no, and Jerry goes, Jerry goes, he doesn't know what the fuck that means. Words. And then the lawyer goes to him and the prosecution says, "Okay, let me rephrase it. Do you hate Vince McMahon?" "Yes, I do."
"Oh yeah, hell yeah, I do."
Hell yeah, absolutely. Fucking idiot. So right now, this is 3 strikes against the prosecution on this table. And Jerry McDivitt and Vince are just like, we're gonna take this to the bank. They had a wrestling angle at court.
This is the biggest work I've ever seen in my life.
And Jerry's whole, deal is that, oh, well, they didn't know that they were steroids beforehand. And I'm like, fucking A.
All right, sure.
I'm watching right now. I'm currently to add a retro, not retro, but like a comparison here. I'm currently watching the new season of American Crime Story, which is the impeachment trial on Bill Clinton. And in the last episode, they bring up his whole rhetoric about what classifies as sexual activity or whatever. And Bill Clinton's whole ordeal is that oh well, when I kissed Monica, I didn't do it with the intent on getting her aroused. So technically, it's not sexual, like, acts. Or there's a word. I can't think of the fucking word. No, it's not assault and not harassment. It's something else. And he gets away with that. It's like, because he makes it clear that in the deposition that was brought upon him for a different case, that their meaning for the word sexual, or sexual, like, I can't think of the goddamn word, is doing so with the intent of arousement. And Bill goes up there and is like, yeah, but I didn't mean for her to get horny and shit. So technically speaking, I'm in the clear. We know, like, that doesn't end up working out completely for him. But I got the same opinion here when Jerry's like, yeah, but they didn't know they were steroids. I'm like, motherfucker! How do we spin in the government system like this? How are we that bad? So it comes down to one last hope. Prosecuted as one last hope. And for 30 minutes of this episode, he has been gone. So he's bound to make his return in the main event. Of course he does. Of course he fucking does. It's main event time, and here comes Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan goes up there, and the goddamn prosecution, and even Jerry McDivitt is like, if he says it, that's it. We lose. That's it. That was the last needle they needed. If Hogan went up there and said, yes.
It makes it so much because he's still working with WCW at this time.
Yeah, no. That was like, I feel like that was what they thought was in favor for the prosecution. Is that, oh, well, he's not working for him, so he's obviously going to fucking talk shit. Lol, nope.
Yes. I couldn't believe it.
I never talked to Vince McMahon about steroids. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And that was it. And at that point, Jerry McDivitt knew, and so did Vince. Well, we fucking won.
Oh
and to
my
to the actual surprise of Vince and Jerry, that he didn't throw them under the bus. Hulk Hogan could have completely changed the wrestling world.
Could have changed history as we know it.
WCW could be in charge. WCW could be dead.
If he just told the fucking truth!
But he knew that if he told the truth, my career is over. And of course, who's got to always go over? Hulk Hogan.
Oh my God!
Not to save Vince's ass, and not to save the WWE's ass, but to save his own ass, motherfucker lied on oath in a courtroom and said he had never talked to Vince about doing steroids. And that was that.
After that, they get out. What does Vince do? He immediately cuts a fucking promo.
It was amazing.
Fucking...
I want to talk about promo. I forgot about the prosecutor who Dave Meltzer, when he talked about his promo, when he got up there and just started shitting on Vince and being like, that man is a devil for wrestling, and just like, oh God, I wish there was footage of that, because Dave said it was the best wrestling promo he had ever seen in his life. Like, this whole courtroom was a fucking kangaroo court. It was a wrestling show. Why wasn't it filmed?
So Vince goes on. These people try to bring us down. They try to make a mockery out of my head, but I wouldn't let them. I came back and I came back fighting. And now you're all going to have to stay tuned to see what happens next. Like,
he goes on Fox 5 or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, the hunters will now be the hunted." And the broadcaster's like, "Vince, what does that mean?" And Vince is like,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And I'm like, that's not good.
Fucking kidding me?
Did you just threaten to kill people? And that story leads to the mob thing on Phil Mushnick.
This was the world's biggest wrestling angle, where the only people who were in on it were fucking Hogan, McMahon, And McDivitt!
See, you didn't enjoy it, but there's a lot of funny, fucked up shit in that episode.
Bullshit's messed up. They played a whole legal team like a bunch of damn fools.
Like legitimate, like they made
a mockery out of the American justice system.
Every witness they had fucked them over so bad in different ways. Nails, not knowing what the fuck English means. Vince's secretary, whose husband tampered by getting answers from outside sources. Hogan just blatantly putting himself over and going into business for himself. Some shit that they did to Zahorian.
You know what? I think I take it back, and this is the best episode they've done this season.
I think talking about it is way more entertaining.
Oh hell yeah! Talking like real life.
The episode itself was very dry.
Yeah,
I think that had a lot to do with, Jerry McDivitt is not the most.
It's just like with all these other episodes, it was like wrestlers, and wrestlers, they like being personalities, but you got lawyers and you got journalists, and
you got like two wrestlers, and like it's the Warlord and Brian Blair.
Yeah,
like you didn't have like the best array of talking heads, but going back and listening and talking about it, it's insane.
Absurdity of it all.
And then McDivitt makes it clear they went out and they partied, and he told Vince, "Hey, you can take the neck brace off." Vince does it, and he starts swinging around, and they're partying.
Oh, we have fun here.
McDivitt's like, "Oh, but he was hurt, I swear."
How are you a lawyer this bad at lying? How are you a lawyer this bad at lying and still get away with it?
Because at this point, I mean, who cares? They won. It's not like they can get taken back to court.
Fuck!
Like, yeah, listen, for all of McDivitt's, like, non-charismaticness, smart motherfucker.
He is a legit slime ball, and he takes that as a compliment.
Hey, and look who he's best friends with. The last thing they mention is, like, do you see your friendship with Vince, like, as this long-lasting? And he's like, yeah.
We're ironclad. He's like, well, you've been deep in the trenches. He said deep in the trenches! These motherfuckers went to war with each other!
It's all a bunch of marks.
I fucking hate it here. Fucking wrestling. It's all work.
Like I said, I don't think... Again, I feel like it was the presentation of it, because the John Arezzi parts and the Dave Meltzer parts, I think, they weren't the most necessary, but their little, like, added info was nice, because since they were there for the whole case, they got to witness it. I think Phil Mushnick was one of the best things to get, because, like, forever, like I said, this was the devil for wrestlers. So it was cool to hear his side of things. I get what he was trying to do. I understand why wrestling fans hate him, because, he almost killed the business. But, like, he was just doing his job. Jerry McDivitt is one of the smartest motherfuckers I have ever listened to. He's not that charismatic, but he's smart as fuck. He knew what he was doing. I get why it's the finale. It's the steroid trial. It is one of the biggest stories that they needed to tell. Would I have made it my finale? I mean, if you think about everything else that you had in this back half, like, are you going to end it on FMW? No, you're not going to end it on XPW. You're not going to have it end on, like, the fucked up shit with Plane Ride, and you're not going to do the two sad stories in Luna and Canyon. You really don't have much of a choice. But I learned a lot from the episode, 100%, about all of it,
So remember, kids, if a multi-million wrestling company can outwork the American judicial system, and so can you, if you just believe hard enough.
Yeah. If you just believe and you have money and you have a Jerry McDivitt, you're good.
Fucking, I can't believe this shit. I can't believe it!
It just shows how fucked up our justice system is to just get played. And then Hulk Hogan. Fuck, it's always Hulk Hogan.
Fuck you, Terry.
Always Hulk Hogan.
All right.
That's that. That is Dark Side for the season, which means fuck, we have to go back to figuring out a third segment now again. But I thought this was one of the best seasons they've done.
What did we do before the Dark Side of the Ring?
Like indie shows.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I guess we got to go back to that.
Yeah, you need to start going back to some shows.
Shit. Yeah. Well, like I said, Sunday I should be going to JCW. So
yeah, go.
If that's the case, next week we'll have that to talk about.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's time for our final segment of the night, our mystery bag. I don't know what the fuck's about to happen, and I'm scared.
You fucking don't.
Is it a tier list?
You're damn right it is.
I fucking know it. I didn't even get my game shoes on. How is this a game?
Well, I was trying to say that to throw you off your feet.
Oh, good. I feel like it's only good to do a game when there's a guest.
Yeah. Even then, I'd still whip your ass. But we are doing a tier list, and
let's see. So far, we've done the ECW title.
Yep.
We've done the Impact title.
Yep.
We've done the ROH World title.
Yep.
We've done the... What else have we done?
2005 pay-per-view tier list.
Oh, yeah, we did that with Hit It. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. And guess what? You're going to enjoy this because we are doing more pay-per-views for 2014.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because this is where
what?
This is where the WWE Universe what was it called before Peacock?
The network?
Yeah, this is where the WWE Network was introduced. In 2014.
So this is the first full year of network shows?
This is the first full year of network shows for the WWE. Or at least, I think, what was the first one? I think it was WrestleMania, which was the first one. But
let's see if I can... 2014. I think I can do this.
You should be.
I'm going to pull up results for these.
So I guess we will start with the one that always comes in January. Let's start with the WWE Royal Rumble 2014. And this is a very infamous Royal Rumble because this was the one with Batista winning Rumble and Bryan not being a part of it.
Oh, he's not, is he?
No. Number 30, I think, was Rey Mysterio. And that was...
Yeah, Rey gets booed.
Gets booed out of the fucking building. And it only...
I felt bad for him.
And it only gets worse because the further we get into the match, the more and more it gets to the fact that Batista is about to win.
So let's see, what's on this show? We had... Oh, God, Brock Lesnar and the Big Show. Eesh.
But we also had Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan, which I think
Daniel Bryan, I still think is Bray's best WWE match.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
None. It's his best WWE match he's had. They had really good chemistry. On the pre-show, we got the New Age Outlaws. They won the tag belts.
I watched that.
I got that.
Yeah.
They beat Cody and Goldust.
Yes.
And Big Show, Orton and Cena. God, this. Oh, oof.
Okay, so yeah, Big Show and Lesnar was more of like an angle more than anything.
This wasn't. Was it next year's where Boogeyman is in it?
Boogeyman.
Is it 2015's in it and DDP and Bubba?
I think so.
All right then. If that is the case,
this one just had
The people in it don't look great.
Yeah, surprise guests like the John Bradshaw Layfield. Got Roman Reigns. I mean, not Roman.
This
Kevin Nash.
This is where Rusev debuted.
Oh yeah, it is where Rusev debuted.
So you had that.
Also, let us not forget, this is the last CM Punk appearance we would get until he made.
Yeah, he gets eliminated by Kane, chokeslam through the table, and he's never seen again.
No,
in the WWE.
He's eliminated by Rusev and then chokeslam by Kane.
Oh, okay. Kevin Nash was in this?
Yes.
Why don't I remember that?
Why would you?
Oh, this is El Torito. Oh, he eliminates Fandango. That was a funny moment. What are our options?
Oh.
Sir?
Oh.
I can't see.
Oh, okay. It's
I'm gonna have to go D. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go D.
I'm gonna go C.
How are you giving this a C?
You know, I hate that ending as much as anyone else in the world.
Yeah, but that match sucks.
However, I loved Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt, and I didn't think Cena and Orton was all that bad either.
I can't even remember because, they've...
It was like a standard Orton-Cena match. It was like, finisher. I steal your finisher. All that stuff. But it's like, it was fine. It was cool.
Oof. See, this is where the third party would come in.
Do I think, is the ending obvious? Is it one of the worst Rumbles of all, the Rumble match? Is it one of the worst Rumbles ever? Abso-fucking-lutely.
I think the show's not great.
But I think, for 2 matches, it should count for a C.
If it's in C, I want to come back to this later.
Okay.
Because I feel like once we get further into more of these,
yeah.
I want to come back to that. So for right now, it's a C.
Okay. What's next?
Then we have Elimination Chamber. I remember this poster a lot with Stephanie.
Stephanie just standing over it.
I remember.
Why was she why though?
Because the Authority was the thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess so.
So let's see. What do we have on this show?
We got Big E versus Jack Swagger for the IC title. I don't remember that at all.
Wait, what?
Big E
I thought Big E already lost the belt by this point.
Huh?
I thought Big E was champion a year before this.
He might have.
He was champion in
2012. I don't even remember how long he held the belt for.
When does he drop it?
I don't know.
Is he at Mania?
No.
What?
No, he's not at Mania.
He's not even in the Battle Royal?
He might be in the Battle Royal. I know he doesn't defend the belt. The New Age Outlaws beat the Usos. I remember this feud. It was not good.
This does have. This show, oof. Okay, I might have to give this a C solely.
Yeah, the Wyatt family in the Shield.
Wyatt Shield triple
that
threat.
Was so good.
By far my favorite match of 2014 in the W.
Just the best 6-man. Just the best, probably the best 6-man tag they've ever had, to be quite honest.
And the New Day was really good too.
Yeah. This show also had Titus O'Neil and Darren Young.
Oh, all right, sure.
It had Cameron beating
AJ by DQ?
Qualification.
Wait, Cameron fought AJ?
I don't even know. Well, it didn't go anywhere because AJ fought in a fucking battle royal.
Yeah, I'm sure she did, and won.
Batista beat Del Rio.
AJ Lee has a better WrestleMania record than the Undertaker's.
And Orton won the Elimination Chamber. I can't see an Elimination Chamber featuring Daniel Bryan, Cena, Cesaro, Christian, and Sheamus being bad, so I'm just gonna...
I don't remember anything about it.
I only said it because I don't, I cannot imagine this lineup.
Really good.
Wasn't Orton and Cesaro the final two?
I thought it was Bryan.
I don't think it was Bryan.
Well, okay. Based along, I mean, it's probably a great chamber, but based solely alone on.
Oh yeah, Wyatt.
The triple threat,
Mm-hmm.
the 6-man. You got to give it a C.
I gotta give it a C. I don't remember much about that show, but I remember that match. And that match,
WrestleMania 30. Thank God this isn't 31.
Wait, where's elimination? Okay, there it is.
Because if this was WrestleMania 31, a lot of people would be on my case.
So this was basically.
Because I think 31 is overrated, but 30.
What?
Oh, yeah. No, I can get into it. I don't know why people think 30 is a great show. I think it's a one-match show. And even that match is only good because of the cash-in. So, anyway. But WrestleMania 30, which is another show that I'm going to get yelled at here.
This is basically the Daniel Bryan show.
I'm going to get yelled at here. But it's a B. And that's for B plus player Daniel Bryan.
All right, let's just go. All right, so you got the.
Look at this card. This is a 7-match show, 8-match show.
8, yes.
Including the pre-show.
7. If you want to include the pre-show, then it's 8.
So okay, if I'm looking right now at the results here that you have pulled up.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan and Triple H, great match.
I think this is one of the
great
best.
Match.
One of the best.
The main
opening.
event. The main event, great match.
Yeah.
This middle chunk.
All right, so Shield versus. I know a lot of people have it, but I thought this was actually really fun. Like the Shield.
I don't remember anything.
Like the Shield just absolutely just
powerbomb.
Run through Kane and the Outlaws, and this is also the debut of the triple powerbomb, where they take.
It's the only thing I remember from this match. Again, it's like what I'm. 3 minutes.
So is Cesaro winning the Andre?
Was awesome.
Yeah.
But what did that do?
He was over for a good 3 months.
Yeah, and they gave him Paul Heyman and made him a heel for some reason. That's their fault.
Yeah.
I love a battle royal.
Cena versus
I enjoyed it.
Wyatt.
This match. Okay, hold on. I want to skip real quick. AJ Lee does her thing. Whatever. All the women get on the show. She wins. Awesome. Better streak than The Undertaker. Let's talk about these 2 matches, because these are the 2 matches in my mind that really hampers this whole show.
Okay. So
you have Cena and Bray, and the whole goddamn story about this was John Cena needs to embrace the hate. Yes, this is the infamous embrace the hate. Kane leading to this, whatever. I very much remember the amazing Eminem video package. The legacy video package for this, I was hyped. Bray comes out with the goddamn live performance, sick as shit. John Cena does his WrestleMania shit, always great, because it's Cena. Match starts going. All right, we're having fun. And then we get to the end with the chair. Is Cena going to do it? Is he going to do it?
Obviously
no, he doesn't do it. And even though he doesn't do it, he still wins.
He still wins.
No, fam.
You could also pinpoint this as the exact moment where
Bray Wyatt's
never
career ends.
Never recovered. He never recovers from this.
I don't know. This match is not good because of everything that I don't even remember the match being all that great either. And for it to be 22 minutes? Ooh, I would have cut this match down in half and put it give Big E or the US title a match on the show. This was not a match that needed to be 22 minutes because of the story.
Who is US champion?
I have no idea. That's the problem. That's the point here. Is that match did not need to be 22 minutes. That match could have been 12 minutes of story, and Bray wins in the end. Cena's gonna go for the chair. He can't do it. Turns around into a Sister Abigail. Bray Wyatt wins. Oh my God! Bray beat Cena on WrestleMania. You just made a whole big new star in Bray. It's not like Cena loses anything. He's going to be leaving in a few years anyway at this point. No, instead, Cena big win. Do. And then Brock and The Undertaker.
All right. I know this match is slow and
slow because Taker gets concussed.
Yeah, it's mainly because Taker gets concussed in like the first 5 minutes of the match.
And Brock is not a guy who knows how to hold a match at this point in his career because he's not the wrestling machine anymore. I'm Brock. I kill people. Oh, an Undertaker is not also a light man. He is a big, heavy dude.
Right.
And then Brock wins. All
right. Say what you want, but this match is a part of wrestling history now.
But for the right reasons?
The match might not be good, but this is a part
of
the facial the shock and awe in front of everybody in that.
See, that would be cool if it wasn't for the fact that Taker continued to wrestle.
They didn't even play his music for the first minute because everyone was in so much shock about what happened. It is a part of wrestling history, not just WWE history.
But it's a good history.
That's not the point, Adam. The point is that everybody remembers it. There are so many memes of that one black dude in the crowd that even non-wrestling fans use.
Undertaker's not even his favorite wrestler. If you didn't know that. Did you know that? They found I forgot who did the interview with him. It might have been Fightful. They did an interview and he was like, "Oh, I was just shocked because I was shocked, but Triple H is my favorite wrestler."
Dope.
So,
it's a part
go back and people remember the Yeti. It's not good.
This is not. You cannot put this in the same category. This isn't like fucking Shockmaster or fucking Chucky on WCW. This is the man with the greatest streak in WrestleMania history
loses it to Brock.
No, it's not forget Brock for a second. He's not factoring. He lost here. This is history in the making, whether you like the match or not.
The issue is they've tampered it because he continued to wrestle.
It wasn't a retirement match though.
If you're gonna beat if the person who beats the streak should be beating the Undertaker's career. And then there's the idea of people being did Brock need to be the guy? If you're gonna have somebody beat Taker, why not be somebody that we're now going to build upon? And granted, they built upon Brock afterwards, but it's Brock. You could have saved this next year and had a person like Bray beat The Undertaker. And they ended up doing Bray and Taker, and Bray lost.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Brock was the right choice. And then Undertaker continues to wrestle. And the match is hampered because of the concussion. The general shock. I remember the shock happening, and people were not happy about it.
No, because right after
because it ended. They weren't upset because it ended. They were upset because it was Brock who did it.
No, you know how I know they were very much? Because we go into the next match, which is the WWE Divas Championship
women's match,
and they boo. They boo throughout the entire match. They chant bullshit.
And this is 2014. AJ is the hottest woman they have, getting cheered out of the building. No, not right now. Sorry, girl.
No.
Undertaker just lost. I don't know. If you're gonna have Taker lose, that's how you're closing the show.
But it wasn't about Taker.
But then why on this show be the one where Taker has to get the streak broken?
Because it's about that WrestleMania moment, bro.
Or was it because, look, we'll never know because everybody puts us through the ringer and Paul Heyman's definitely one for sure. We'll never know exactly, was this actually supposed to be how it ended? Was there a call on the fly because of the concussion? I go back to what I've said before. An ending can make or break something. And I go back to Austin and Rock from 17.
Oh my god. This wasn't even the ending!
But I know, but I just don't like it.
Look, you don't have to like it. All I'm saying is that it's a part of history. You can't take that
Bad
away.
history.
Fuck
Bad
off.
history. It's part of bad history.
AJ wins in a match that nobody really gave a shit about because the streak just ended and people were pissed.
Brad Badass was in the Battle Royal? Oh, I miss him.
And last but not least, the main event.
This match was great.
Daniel Bryan wins the world championship from Orton and Batista.
WrestleMania 30 is just like WrestleMania 10. You had a great opener and a great ending. And just like the ladder match, on this case, you had a really fun battle royal. That's it. This is a B show.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't give it an A, and definitely can't give it an S because of those two matches. People remember those matches, but not for the good reasons, for the wrong reasons. They had to redo Bray and Cena.
I'm not saying that the match is good. I'm just saying that's a part of wrestling history. That is a moment. Now you have to take that into consideration.
Yeah, but it's bad.
Oh my! That is not what we're discussing here.
That's bad.
All
right. Next show, Extreme Rules 2014. I was there.
You were there.
I was there.
What was that like?
It was in East Rutherford, which once was the Izod Center, is now an empty building, sadly.
Oh yes, this is the show that had one of the best pre-show matches of all time.
Yeah, I was there for this.
El Torito and Hornswoggle in the WLC match, and I watched that on thanks to the Deadlock podcast.
Was that the first time you've seen it?
No, it was the first time I saw it since that match happened. I saw it back when it first happened, and I never went back to watch it. This match is fucking brutal. They really
realized, we're on the pre-show. All right.
They fucking went all out on this.
This show on the Evolution and the Shield match was really fun. I was 2 seats. Not 2 seats, but I'd say 5 rows away from where Seth jumped off the balcony. That was cool to watch. I got to see Paige because this is right after she had won the title, and I love Paige, and that was really cool. And RVD, that triple threat elimination match, I think it's slept on in this time because I don't think it's a bad match with Swagger, RVD, and Cesaro. I don't remember any of this handicap shit with R-Truth and Woods.
Bad news, Barrett beat Big E for the IC. I actually remember that because this is
remember that either.
This is the most over Barrett had ever been at this point. So over that they were booing Big E at this point. So they gave Barrett the belt.
At this point, I wasn't a Big E guy. I thought he was what's the point of this dude?
He was just very generic big dude wrestler for a little bit.
So Big E is IC champion at this point, and he's in a battle royal. Do you see what I mean? You could have given 12 minutes to Big E and Barrett at Mania instead of giving 22 minutes of Bray and Cena. Okay, I'm gonna get off of this.
Shield?
I do remember the ending match because of the fire spot, which was cool.
Shield and Evolution. I thought
great match.
I think all their matches were great.
All their matches honestly were great, and so. And then, Bryan and Kane.
Wait, Bray Wyatt and Cena, where...
Oh, God, no, the cage match! Oh, fuck!
Cena lost!
Oh, no, child!
Deep voice child!
Oh, shit. Wow, that's a memory I completely blocked out of my head.
How can you forget a part of the feud where fucking Bray Wyatt was trying to turn all of Cena's children against him?
Oh, I remember the crowd shit on this. I remember my dad was confused, and I remember me going, no.
This was also the beginning where we couldn't ever have Bray Wyatt just win a match. always has to involve some sort of bullshit with him in order for him to get the victory over a big time dude.
And that was like his pretty much run after this.
Yep.
Oh, let's give them a cage match, but let's also still have Luke Harper and Eric Rowan get in the cage.
And they're not even the reason why he wins. He wins by
he loses
singing child.
Oh man, you made me remember that. Holy shit.
I don't even remember what the match was like. I don't even fucking care. It's like
I just remember the ending with the kid.
It's like kind of minute at this point because
I was so upset. I've been a Bray Wyatt fan since I discovered him in NXT before that was even on the network. And being so excited about Bray Wyatt coming to the roster, you know.
Especially after that the last promo he cut on NXT, it sounded like, oh, shit, this dude.
Oh, when he was like, I'm leaving and I'm going to go fuck shit up. Well, you didn't. Not your fault, but... Yeah. Oh, fuck, God
Hopefully he has better luck as Wyndham.
Hey, Wyndham's free now. I can't wait for the Wyndham Wyatt shoot.
The cult of Wyndham.
He's got You saw the tweet, right? That came out
about
how what was it? I think Solomonster was talking about it. How WWE were informed by people that if you have a Bray Wyatt on your roster, you should just get rid of him now. And that got out, and Wyndham heard about it, and Wyndham was like, "Okay, now that we've heard from Bruce, and
I want to tell my side of the story.
I want to give my side," and I'm like, "Yes, please. Yes, please.
Let's go.
I need to hear about this." You heard about how you wanted to bring the puppets to life?
Yeah, and he wanted to play.
Did you see the concept art they had for the Husky? Look, that shit is terrifying.
See what I mean? It's like cool
idea. Let go. Yeah.
I'm so glad he got out of there.
Back to this though. Paige beat Tamina in a match that I don't remember, except Paige was there and she won, and I love Paige.
Oh yeah, this happened because I think AJ was injured.
AJ was injured, which made me really upset because I still to this day have never seen Paige fight, and I'm sad.
So Tamina took a shot. The match wasn't anything, and then
not at all. And then Daniel Bryan beat Kane in his only defense of the belt because he got hurt.
Fuck.
And this match
was not good.
I remember there were a few cool things. There's the fire spot that I liked, but they put the fire out way too quick. I liked the diving headbutt off the forklift. I thought that was really cool. I remember that. But that's what caused the injury. So.
Yeah.
I remember being there live and enjoying this.
I honestly gave the show a C. Not even a C. Maybe a D.
I don't know if I give it a D. Because the main event is fun for what it is. The 6-man is great. The WLC match needs to be a part of this.
I guess, yeah. Okay, C.
Yeah, I'd go C.
Yeah. Payback 2014.
Mask versus hair.
I don't remember that at all. Oh yeah, wait, I do remember Hornswoggle shaved.
I know Hornswoggle getting his head shaved. I don't remember that being on a pay-per-view.
This show
let's see.
Was the beginning of the whole Sheamus and Cesaro thing where these two just had fucking banger-ass matches. And I was cool with that.
But this was long before the bar.
Yeah, but even then they still I remember this Payback match and it was fucking awesome.
I'm looking at this whole card and
Ryback beat Cody Rhodes and Goldust. Because
I will not lie when I say I can't recall a single match except for the main event.
Rusev beat Big E by submission. This was back when Rusev was just squashing everybody on the roster, which should have led to him being a bigger star than he is now. But then he hit the brick wall, ladies and gentlemen.
John Cena.
Bo Dallas beat Kofi Kingston by no
in a non-contest.
I don't even know
what
Bo that
Dallas
could have been.
Barrett and RVD?
That sounds good, but I don't remember anything about that.
I don't remember Cena and Bray.
I do, and I actually really like the match. I thought it was really good.
Paige and Alicia Fox. Sure. I do remember the main event being really good.
Yeah, this was the best match.
This is where they fucking swept the Evolution.
Yes.
Which I thought was really, really telling of what they thought of these three.
Only for next day to come.
Plan B.
There's always a
plan B. And it wasn't Moxley.
No.
So I'm looking at this as a one-match show.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. D?
Alright, maybe 2. Because, again, I really like Sheamus and Cesaro.
C then, I guess. And not great. It's not very good looking for 2014 so far.
No.
4 shows in the C category, and the only one that's above it is Mania, so, well, after this, we get Money in the Bank.
Alright.
Shawty make a drink.
Okay, I don't know. Let's just run down the match card real quick. So, you got Usos taking on the Wyatt family for the tag team title.
Match is really good.
I thought, I remember that being a really good match. Paige beats
Can't remember at all. Don't remember a damn thing.
Nah.
Adam Rose.
What the fuck? And Sando?
What? That's on the main card?
On the main card!
The show doesn't even have a pre-show match.
No. Seth wins the Money in the Bank.
Great. That match I enjoyed.
I really enjoyed the stuff between Seth and Dean during that match, so yeah.
RVD being in it I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
That was like RVD's like return.
No, that was last year.
Oh. I thought, okay. No, yeah, you're right, because he was in the pay-per-view that we just talked about. Yeah, I remember that match being good. Seth winning, obviously, what that did. Goldust and Stardust beat Ryback. So, why is this a feud?
It attacked him because Cody was all like, I don't deserve to be your brother anymore.
That's this feud, right? And Stardust debuted.
Now I'm gonna be Stardust.
I liked Stardust.
Yeah, well.
I liked Goldust and Stardust. Rusev beat Big E. That feud is still going, I guess.
Sure.
Layla and so. this was the feud over who's going to be Fandango's valet.
Why?
Because fucked up with Fandango.
And then there was apparently a ladder match for the vacant Why was it vacant? Oh yeah, Brian's out.
Yeah, Brian's out, and this is where they merged the belts together.
Okay.
And this is that match, yeah.
So yeah, Cena wins that.
Bray was in this match? Where?
I honestly, other than like the Money in the Bank ladder match and the fucking Usos, even then I don't think those like matches were like blow away.
Oh no, are we looking at another C here?
I guess.
Oh no. Oh no.
This is not good. 2014.
Pretty mediocre right now.
What the fuck, bro?
Let's hope Battleground. Oh no.
Battleground 2014.
2 out of 3 falls match was awesome.
Oh yeah, this was
This match was so good.
This was so fucking good.
This match was good, and I remember people being really upset that Luke and Eric didn't win the belts here. I thought it was time for them to win the tag belts.
Absolutely.
Didn't happen though, and it doesn't happen ever in the Wyatt family.
AJ Lee and Paige finally have their match.
I liked this match, but I remember a lot of people wanted more. I wanted a little more.
You got more in their rematch.
We got more following. Yeah, the rematch they had way more, but even then, I think this was a match where I feel like these two girls. Of course, this is like you're looking now at the beginning of what the Revolution becomes, and I think time really just wasn't on their side. But this is the feud where we get was it Paige being like lesbo?
Yeah.
On AJ.
AJ, they did the Mickey situation again. Where he's like, "I want to be just like you." Whatever.
I liked it. I like Paige. Rusev and Jack Swagger.
Oh yeah, this was fucking. They just turned anyone who went up against Rusev into this ultra patriotic symbol of America. That's why Big E was fighting him so much, because they did it with Big E, and then they did it with Swagger, and then they did it with fucking Henry, and then they did it with fucking Big Show.
And then Cena. And Bray, I remember vaguely.
That match was not
good. But once again, Bray loses.
Yeah. To Jericho!
Who was making his return.
Jericho puts everybody
over! Miz won a Battle Royal for the IC title. I don't remember that.
I don't fucking... Of course.
And this fucking main event looks awful. Cena, Kane, Orton, and Roman.
This is the first instance of them really looking to Roman as the next dude.
I don't remember this match at all.
And then that be further capitalized going into SummerSlam. So
I think we're looking at a D here.
Fucking, I don't remember. Other than the Usos?
Also on the pre-show, Cameron beat Naomi, and Adam Rose beat Fandango.
This show's the worst. Fuck it. It's in the D.
That's a D. That's 100% a D. All right, SummerSlam.
All right. I have fond memories of this SummerSlam, so hopefully it sticks out in my mind a bit.
Let's see. Dolph Ziggler and Miz. Always great matches with them.
I thought it was a good match. Great.
Paige won the belt from AJ to become 2-time champion.
Yeah.
They just flip-flopped the belts. All right. Rusev and in the flag in a ref stoppage in a flag match
by a technical submission.
It was a flag match.
I don't fucking know.
All right, the lumberjack match I liked.
I really liked it.
I thought this was one of the best lumberjack matches ever.
Mainly because they rarely used the lumberjack. They just fought all over the place and didn't give a fuck.
And when they did use the lumberjacks, it was usually to the advantage, throw them in front, use them as a weapon. I really liked this. This was good. And I remember it starting in the crowd and then getting in the ring.
Wyatt beats Jericho.
I don't remember anything in their feud at all.
I don't either.
Oh, here we go. Stephanie McMahon.
I'm gonna say this right now. I really liked the feud between Stephanie and Brie heading into
Brie and Stephanie too. And what happens afterwards, we're gonna talk about because there's more shows to talk about.
This match was fucking dog shit.
I remember thinking Stephanie looked really good.
Stephanie took most of the control of the match, which was the fucking problem.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Brie Bella was never the worker of the two.
No.
And we're talking 2014. Nikki doesn't get great until 2016.
Speaking of Nikki, she comes in, she fucking blasts Brie in the face, then later says, wish she died in the womb.
Triple H gets a quick shot peek of them boobs. There's that picture that goes all the time around.
Oh, fuck.
Roman beat Orton?
It wasn't much of a match.
But this main event, though.
That's all you really need to know about. One of the best.
I said it for a few of the other shows we said, but one match shows aren't big deal. But this is a B.
This shit.
This wasn't a one. This was.
One of the best SummerSlam main events ever.
Brock comes out and just 16 German suplexes at 5. Cena loses the belt.
There was so much speculation on how this match was going to go. Because Cena just won the belts. He's going in to fight Lesnar. Lesnar just beat Taker. So it's okay. So how the fuck is this match going to go? I don't think anyone saw fucking Lesnar just coming in and kicking,
squashing
absolute dog shit out of Cena for 16 minutes.
Squashed him. German. F5. Cena maybe got a punch.
I know he got one attitude adjustment in. He hit one attitude adjustment, and that was it.
I believe that was earlier on.
But after that, Lesnar just at one point grounds and pounds him, and then picks him up, F5s him 1, 2, 3, and the greatest line of one of the greatest Michael Cole lines he's ever delivered. It wasn't even close. Lesnar beat the shit out of this man.
Yeah, no, for this match alone, because everybody remembers this, it's got to be a B.
I mean, considering everything else, yeah.
Night of Champions.
See,
also Cesaro lost to RVD.
So now here's the thing. We made Lesnar like this unstoppable force. He beat our champion. He destroyed him. He made him look like a fool. So now what happens? We book the rematch immediately.
It's a DQ finish.
Oh!
Stardust and Goldust win the tag belts from the Usos. Cesaro lost to Sheamus. Miz drops the belt. Wow, that's a lot of rematches. Rusev and Mark Henry. I don't want to see that.
Why was R-Truth with Ziggler?
That's a good question.
Rusev and
Mark Henry. That sounds like a slog.
I don't remember Orton and Jericho even having a match.
I don't remember that ever being a thing. AJ. I remember this triple threat being pretty good for the time. At the time for the women.
Yeah.
I remember this being a pretty good triple threat. And then Cena beat Brock by DQ.
Fuck this show.
Yeah, this is a D.
Fuck this show. To hell.
Yes, that's 100% D. Alright, Hell in a Cell. On the pre-show, Bo Dallas lost to Mark. Aww. Bastards.
I think wasn't this like the end of Bo's streak as well? Yeah,
Bo had already lost to R-Truth on Raw.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
That sucked.
After
there was so much potential with that streak, and they just ended it like that.
I don't want to go into how much they've messed with my boy Bo.
Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro, I remember having a very good match, although I don't.
Yeah, that was good.
I think Cesaro was in the fucking doghouse at this point, so that's why he lost 2 straight.
Yeah, because they thought his whole after the Heyman thing failed. They really were like, we're just gonna bury you because you called the 4 corners a circle. Remember that promo?
Oh yeah.
He was like, oh, in these 4 corners or these whatever, he just circle or whatever. I remember he fucked up, and that was just the end of him getting promo work. Nikki beat Brie to become her assistant. This feud sucked.
This feud always sucked.
More Usos in the Stardust family.
This was pretty much the only tag teams they had left.
I do remember the Orton and Cena match because we finally got the RKO out of the Attitude Adjustment spot through the table. That was really good.
Yeah.
Didn't need to be in Hell in a Cell, though, because they didn't use it
at all. Sheamus and
the Miz?
This was back when Mizdow was doing the impersonation thing, and he was starting to get more over than the Miz.
All right. Rusev beat the Big Show.
Of course.
We made that clear. AJ beat Paige because there's only 4 women in this gimmick. Seth and Dean was the best Hell in a Cell they had done in years at this point.
Unfortunately.
But unfortunately, Princess Leia shows up and says, help us, Dean Ambrose.
You're our only hope. And then Bray Wyatt comes in and fucks him over.
Oh, man. Ooh, because the match is good, but I hate the ending.
The ending
and
is
that's
awful.
That's a real big part for me, is if an ending is bad, it ruins the whole thing. Orton and Cena was good, but being in Hell in a Cell, I feel like that doesn't help.
Ziggler and Cesaro was good, but that's just
but is that enough to keep it out of the D section? Or are you going to go
I would put this in D because this was because if WrestleMania was the end of taking Wyatt seriously, Hell in a Cell was most certainly the end of anyone taking Ambrose seriously as a top guy. They killed that. They killed that right here. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No. All right. D. Yeah, I'm gonna say D. Yeah, we haven't even broken into the A section.
No ace.
Next
is Survivor
we
Series.
have Survivor Series,
and
which, you know,
let's just go through it.
Pre-show, Fandango beat Gabriel. Cesaro lost again to Swagger. Damn.
Wow.
He hasn't won a single match since Mania at this point on a pay-per-view.
Miz and the Miz beat Goldust and lost Matadores and the Usos in a fatal 4-way tag team match to win the titles.
We have Naomi, Emma, Natalia, and Alicia Fox beating Paige, Summer Rae, Cameron, and Layla in a Survivor Series match. Don't remember that at all.
Bray Wyatt
Bray beat in a DQ.
By disqualification!
God damn. The Bunny! The Bunny! What's the Bunny doing in WWE?
Oh, man. I forgot the Bunny was getting more over than fucking Adam Rose.
Oh, Slater Gator.
Yeah, Slater and Titus O'Neil.
Slater Gator. They have
Slater Gator.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
This was bad.
Nikki won the title from AJ
in 33 seconds.
Oh, I believe this is the start of her run.
Yes.
Or is that a different match?
No, this is pretty much the start of Nikki is the face of our fucking division. And then
the Authority versus Cena and Friends.
A very, very good.
This is very good, and it has like an amazing moment. It has the Sting debut, which is awesome. But I mean, and Dolph Ziggler gets the big victory, but that didn't do a goddamn thing for Dolph. And look what happened to fucking Sting. I don't know.
Going off of what you don't know already, I would say, like, just for that moment and for the match alone, this is probably a C. Because without this match, and without that moment, I would find an F tier and put it in that.
It's a pretty bad show.
This fucking blew. And speaking of shows that blew, we get on to our last show of the
okay, hold on though. The ladder match with Luke Harper and Dolph Ziggler is amazing.
Other than that,
the stairs match.
Shut the fuck up. Mind you, tables, ladders, and chairs.
And stairs.
This was 3 days. 3 days after NXT Our Evolution. The show with the debut of Kevin Owens, the real women's evolution in fucking WWE finally, like, getting there with the fucking...
four-way?
Huh? No, that's not...
Is that the four-way?
I think that's the show after.
Is this the triple threat?
No, that's Charlotte and Sasha.
Oh, okay.
The fucking debut of the Demon, and of course, the all-time classic with fucking Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville, with Sami finally winning the big one. That all happened. That is an A-tier pay-per-view.
Oh, that's an S-tier show.
That's an S-tier show.
That's an S-tier show.
That is a fucking S-tier show. And
you can't see it, but we're putting it in there.
But what did we get with tables, ladders, and chairs? Let's just go through it. New pre-show,
which is great.
The New Day beat Goldust.
Are they the New Day already?
Yep.
Oh, but this is like
we're black. We're black, and we come out to choir music, and we're dancing.
They They beat Stardust and Goldust.
Oh my god, thank God, Kofi,
Dolph Ziggler, yeah. And Big E.
Big E and Xavier saved that shit when they turned heel. Because, God, oh my God, that was almost dead on arrival.
Yeah, that would have been really bad.
Dolph Ziggler and Luke Harper have a fucking brutal-ass ladder match. They beat the shit out of each other.
I might go back and rewatch that after this, actually. I haven't seen that match in a very long time, and I remember, Luke Harper being, banged up after this match.
The Usos beat Miz Dow and Miz by disqualification!
Oh, dear.
Big Show and Eric Rowan have one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my fucking life in a steel stairs match.
I like the ending when he, throws him through the big stack stair spot. That's all I remember.
Cena and Rollins have a pretty good match. It wasn't anything noteworthy.
I don't remember it at all, and it's a tables match.
I think this is... Yeah. Roman came back. Was it? Was it Roman that came back? He cost Rollins the match? I might be recalling.
I can't remember, man.
I know somebody came back and he cost Rollins this match. I think it was Roman.
WWE Divas title. Nikki Bella beat AJ, sadly. Ryback and Kane in a chairs match?
That, by principle, sounds like fucking garbage.
Why is that a feud? And why is that constituting a chairs match?
Rusev beats Jack Swagger again.
Hold on. Rusev and Jack Swagger, a few shows before this, have a stipulation in a flag match.
Back at SummerSlam.
All right, and then all these months later, we're going to do this again.
We are now in December, and we are still doing this.
He's also U.S. champion, and when does he even win that, and who does he beat? Whatever. And then the TLC match I didn't hate.
I hated this match. I hated it so fucking much. It had no heat. They barely did anything. Wyatt barely took a fucking bump, and that ending pissed me the fuck off.
Was it the ambulance, right, or something?
No, it's the fucking... Ambrose grabs a fucking camera, and it's still plugged in,
right?
And it explodes in his face. D.
Yeah, no, this is, I don't remember anything. Oh, man.
There are 2 B shows! There are 2 B shows!
It's the 2 biggest shows.
And that's being fucking generous!
That's being generous, at least to SummerSlam.
Because think about what would make a B show. If we didn't have Daniel Bryan on WrestleMania 30, this would be D. If we didn't have Lesnar and Cena on this fucking show, this would be D. These shows, 2014 was not a good year for the WWE.
Yeah, I'm just, going back and looking at some of these results, there is so much of this year that I don't remember. What a forgettable year. And it's the first on the network. I remember things, but most of the things I remember aren't even the matches. Sting's here. Daniel Bryan won. Brock Lesnar killed Cena. Hulk Hogan fucks up at the beginning of Mania, and also Austin and Rock. That's a great moment.
People wonder why this fucking
But the wrestling style is, if it's sad when one of the, if not the best match, okay, maybe if one of the top 3 best matches, pay-per-view wise, of this whole year is VLC.
When you are trying to promote your fucking web service, your streaming service, to a whole crowd of people, and this is what you give them, was it ever truly a shock that this shit went under? This was their first year on the network. This was supposed to be, the introduction to what you're going to get. And if this is what you fucking deliver, this is what you come up with. It's no shit, this thing never went off. Because they kept promoting this as an extension to Raw or an extension to SmackDown. This is all shit you would see on normal television. This is still stuff you see on normal television.
Yeah, it really doesn't have much. Hasn't really changed, has it? If you look about it.
No.
Same old pay-per-views have multiple rematches, multiple DQ finishes, multiple non-existent feuds that really don't have a purpose. Wrong guys winning feuds, shitty endings like the Child, and a lot of harping on not the new talent, but the old talent.
We effectively saw the deaths of two careers of two great up-and-coming wrestlers that could have been like huge stars, that should have been huge stars for this company going forward, in the form of Ambrose and Wyatt. And the fact of the matter is that of them not being able to get like a single win without some sort of bullshit, like, that's ridiculous. The only saving grace I could say for 2014 would be Seth. Because, like, at least they tried with Seth. At least there was an attempt with Seth. But other than that, fuck, dude. This shit was awful.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All right.
Yeah. Is that why you did this? You picked it because you just wanted to shit on 2014?
I didn't realize how much I hated 2014 pay-per-views until I just wanted to like go over, oh, this is the beginning of the network. I wonder how this stacked up. How they did their first year. I didn't realize it was this fucking bad. I completely blocked this out of my fucking memory. I didn't realize that it was, oh my god, this was awful.
Yeah. I mean, like, I went back and I'm like looking at the 4 NXT specials, and like, they're all, I remember a lot of most of all of these shows. I remember Enzo and the hair versus hair match. I remember that awesome Fatal 4-Way. I remember all of our Evolution. Like, the Bo Dallas and the ladder match with Neville, Natalya, and Charlotte. Damn. And that's 4 shows, by the way. And I would put all 4 of these in A or above. Damn.
Well, that's about going to wrap things up for us here. Jesus Christ, this has been an episode.
I love these pay-per-view tier lists.
Yeah, they're fun.
I've been enjoying these. Thank you, Hit.
Yeah, Hit. For once, you came up with a good idea.
Oh, he's going to hear this.
I know he is.
Okay.
All right.
But we hope you enjoyed listening to us.
I had a lot of fun just reminiscing the Steroid Trials. While not the best episode, it's just great to just go over the fucking ridiculousness of pro wrestling and how pro wrestling, just how professional wrestling, interacts with real life and how real life turns into professional wrestling. The fucking going back and just absolutely demolishing 2014 pay-per-views.
Talking about what can, the history and beauty that was ROH.
Yep.
2 extremely fun episodes of AEW television. You got to shit all over them for the Halloween stuff they do, in the W at least. That was a rant.
That was a great rant.
So, we hope you enjoyed, especially, I think if this was, our first Podbean episode, I think it better way than ever than to have the original hosts be the only ones on it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're gonna have guests again. Hopefully, our guests, timing isn't a problem.
Hopefully ones that are willing to stay up until 2 a.m. to do this shit with us.
But we hope you enjoy, we hope you listen, and we hope you continue to listen, especially to all the new listeners out there who are now listening to this for the first time. And of course, so all of our people that have been already listening to it over on the YouTube page. We hope you continue to support. And like we said, we have more ideas on content to come out. We're going to work on it.
So anything...
We're going to grow the empire!
So anything substantial you want to say to end off this episode real quick? You all usually have like a message.
Do I have a message this week? Love wrestling. I'm going to do a simple message. Just love wrestling. Even if it is a W. If it makes you happy, just because me and him here, and we talk shit, and, we're not the flag bearers to say what you can and can't like. We just want better. But don't let us be deteriorating from you wanting to enjoy what you enjoy. Everybody deserves to enjoy everything that they watch. Just because I have an opinion doesn't mean you also have to harp or attack said person for their opinion. So just enjoy and love what you love and give everything a chance. And if it's not for you, hey, at least you gave it the chance. I don't really have much else to say this.
That was very pretty, Adam.
Thank you.
Well, that's about...
Matt Riddlin, but okay.
God damn it. Alright, well, that's about going to do it for us here at the
My lighter died.
Four Post Massacre Podcast. We talked about a lot. We talked about Dynamite. Dark Side of the Ring just ended. It feels like an end of an era there. Got to harp on the WWE. I feel like we got all the checkpoints when it comes to our showdown.
We hit all the bases this week for all you new listeners.
I can't help to feel like we're missing something.
No, fuck this. No. No!
What? No what?
No!
No what?
We had a nice time.
What are you talking about?
Oh, play the fucking thing.
I don't know what in the hell you're talking about, Adam.
I don't want deviled eggs.
This has been the Good Brothers Podcast. We will see you next time. Give me a fucking 2, sweet brother.
No.